Hi, I'm Bobby Butters. Welcome to the SBD manufacturing facility. We are here today to take a look through the range of knee sleeves that are made right here in Sheffield. There are 3 different types of knee sleeves available, and while they may look similar, each type offers different levels of flexibility and compression, making each knee sleeve ideal for different types of training. The one thing that unifies every version of the SBD knee sleeve is the spiral design that allows the sleeve to be constructed from a single panel of neoprene with a single seam. The single panel design avoids the need for multiple seams in the neoprene, which can create discomfort. The spiral seam reduces the ride in the knee sleeve with flexion and spreads the stress on the seam, reducing the risk of the seam failing as the forces on the seam do not act perpendicular to it. Let's take a look at each type so you can decide which will work best for your training. For each one, we will look at the materials that make each sleeve unique, the level of compression each one offers, and the types of training each knee sleeve is designed for. We will start with the weightlifting knee sleeve. These sleeves are made from 5mm neoprene and have a 4-way stretch fabric, allowing for light to medium compression and support throughout a greater range of motion. They come with an abrasion-resistant exterior lining and an antimicrobial inner lining to maximize the longevity of the sleeve. As the name suggests, the primary use of these knee sleeves are the weightlifting movements, the snatch and the clean and jerk. They are also ideal for dynamic movements that require a greater range of motion than the powerlifting squat, making them a greater choice for explosive high-intensity training. The weightlifting knee sleeves are both IWF and IPF compliant and can be purchased from sizes 3 extra small to 5 extra large. Moving to the next level, the 7mm knee sleeve. These are the original knee sleeves created by SBD that have been supporting athletes across the world for over a decade. Made from the same high-grade neoprene as the weightlifting knee sleeve, but at a 7mm in thickness. This sleeve gives you more support than the weightlifting knee sleeve, while also meeting the maximum allowed thickness as specified by the International Powerlifting Federation. This is the most versatile sleeve in the set, offering high levels of compression and support across a range of lifts. Built to withstand regular powerlifting training, but also flexible enough for leg press, lunges, and other types of movements that require a greater range of movement than the squat, meaning you can wear them throughout the whole of your lower body training sessions. The 7mm sleeve also includes an antimicrobial inner lining and reinforced seam construction to keep your sleeves in great condition all the way from the gym to the lifting platform. They're also available in sizes 3 extra small to 5 extra large. Next up, we've got the powerlifting knee sleeves. Now, these are designed for competitive powerlifters looking for the maximum support from their knee sleeves. They are made from SBD's specially designed high-density neoprene that offers maximum compression and surface contact area throughout the knee flexion, giving you the highest level of support of any of the SBD knee sleeves. They also meet the IPF's maximum allowable length of 30cm, giving you total coverage throughout your training. The included abrasion-resistant outer and heavyweight edge braid materials make these the most robust sleeves in the lineup. They've been built to last through the heaviest squat attempts. The longevity and performance benefits of the powerlifting knee sleeves have been proven over and over again, with multiple squat records being set at the highest level of IPF and EPF championships. As with all of the SBD knee sleeves, these also feature the antimicrobial lining, which will minimise the buildup of bacteria, and are available in sizes 3 extra small to 5 extra large. You may be tempted to use the powerlifting knee sleeve for all of your training as they offer the most amount of support. Myself personally, I use the powerlifting knee sleeve for my main squat days and for my main squat attempts. However, for a lot of my other training, I use the 7mm. This allows a lot more flexibility for those higher repetition sets and for accessory movements such as high bar back squat comparative to low bar back squat. All of the SBD knee sleeves we have discussed today are fully manufactured in Great Britain from pure neoprene and are IPF and IWF compliant. They are all individually quality control checked by the team of highly trained staff and come with a 1-year warranty as standard. If you want to learn more about how to measure your knee sleeves, check out the product page on the SBD website or in the description below. If you have any questions about any of the SBD products from this video, you can contact your local retailer or SBD customer services. Thanks for joining me at SBD HQ. If you are interested in any of the sleeves that we went over in this video, head over to your local retailer's website today to find out more.
Powerlifting is a sport comprised of 3 lifts: the squat, bench press and the deadlift. Each lifter has 3 attempts at each lift and 1 minute to complete each attempt. The 3 referees each give a white light in case of a good lift and a red light in case of a no lift. The athletes are separated by their weight class, age category and gender. The biggest total in a respective category will win. The first movement of the competition is the squat. Once the athlete unracks the bar, stands upright with the knees locked and the bar firmly placed on their back, the head referee gives a squat command. The lifter then bends their knees and lowers their body until the hip joint is lower than the top surface of the knees. The lifter then comes back up, locking the hips and knees in order to complete the lift. The head referee will then give the rack command and the athlete must then place the bar back on the squat rack. There are 3 main technical mistakes that would give an athlete a no lift. Firstly, if the athlete is not standing erect with the knees and hips locked at the beginning and at the end of the lift. Secondly, the lifter will get a no lift if the proper competition depth is not reached at the bottom of the movement. That is, if the hip joint is higher than the top of the knee joint. Third, if the athlete does not complete the lift in one swift upward movement, meaning if the bar goes up and down before finishing the lift, this will also be considered a no lift. The bench press is a second movement performed in a powerlifting competition. Whilst lying down on the bench, an athlete creates the following points of contact with the bench: the head, the shoulders and the glutes. An arch is authorized which allows for a stronger position for many, as long as those points of contact with the bench continue to be met. The lifter can grip the bar at any width as long as it does not exceed the maximum width, which is index finger on the rings of the bar. Once the lifter has established their position on the bench, the bar is unracked, either by the lifter themselves or with the aid of a lift-off from a spotter. The lifter's feet must lay flat on the ground during the lift. Once the referees observe that the lifter has their head and glutes in contact with the bench and the feet flat on the floor, the head referee will give the start command. The lifter then lowers the bar to the chest. The lower underside of both of the elbow joints must be level or below the top surface of the shoulder joints. The bar must remain motionless on the chest, at which point the referee will give a press command. The lifter will press the bar off their chest until complete extension of the elbow has been achieved. The head referee will give the rack command, at which point the lift will be complete. There are 4 main reasons why a lifter may fail a bench press despite the completion of the lift. Firstly, if the lifter's elbows are not fully extended at the beginning or end of the movement. If on the descent the elbows are not below the top of the shoulder joint, this is also considered a no lift. The third reason for failure is if the lifter is unable to meet all points of contact with the bench, that is, the head, glutes and shoulders. Finally, the lift must be completed in one upward movement without any downward motion. The deadlift is the final movement a head referee calls. The lifter then start the lift in conventional or sumo position. The athlete must pull the bars, hips and knees are fully locked. Once the head referee deems these are locked, they will give the down command. The bar must be lowered to the ground without being dropped before it hits the floor. It is at the end of deadlifts that a lifter's total is made, at which the placings are determined and the winner is known. There are 4 main reasons for technical failure in the deadlift. Firstly, if the lifter's shoulders, hips and knees
Welcome to day 2, session 2 of South Mids Open. My name is Nick Michalopoulos, and I got next to me my dear friend, training partner, and champion of Bucks 105 weight class, Josh Smith.
Hello. Looking to be a good session of lifting.
We have had a couple of great sessions so far, both on Saturday and Sunday.
Including yourself, brother. Don't count yourself out.
You're most right. Yes, absolutely great.
Yes, I am incredible.
Great experience both as a volunteer and as a lifter. And on that note, a massive thanks to the South Mids board for organizing this competition. A massive thank you to all the supporters, loaders, referees, anyone on the table crew, commentators.
If you guys want drinks or anything, shout me, okay?
So we just got interrupted by the boards. They don't want to be thanked that much.
How dare they?
I'm only joking.
Okay.
So what do we got today, Josh? What are we looking to see in this session right now?
We're looking at some pretty big openers from what I can tell, especially going down later into the first flight here. But we're going to open up.
That is correct.
85 kilos for Sophie Gay, starting in about 10 seconds. So, what's the one thing you'd look for from a solid opener for squats?
Well, it should be something that you can hit even on a bad day. So, in order for you to get yourself on the board and not having to go into panic mode and trying to make a load that you cannot have on the day, you want to select something that you can make even when having the worst of days. That's what I'm looking for. What about you?
I can't tell you. I'll let my coach figure that out for me. Normally it's about an RP6 lift, so something I'd hit for maybe 4 in the gym at like an RP8. Just make sure it's really something you can get confidently to get you on the board. But especially for squats, which is by far my most unconfident lift.
That is true, and I reckon you can hit an RP6 regardless of circumstances.
Okay.
And the
Bar
bar is
is loaded
for Sophie K. Let's see how she performs. First squat, first flight of this session. Come on, Sophie.
People excited. Okay, Sophie.
A good round of applause for Sophie. Crowd has been supportive throughout both days.
A really good crowd.
Gets the command.
Yeah, sunk that.
That's an
Really
active
nice.
squat.
Let's see what the refs say. 3 white lights.
Unquestionable. And we move over to Manpreet Kaur with 95 kilos.
Okay. Super solid squat there from Sophie. Definitely has a good few more kilos in her to give her a decent third attempt.
Manpreet now, the bar is loaded for her. Let's see how she performs on her opener. Looking quite focused, quite dedicated, quite locked in, you could say.
Locked in is a great word. Definitely locked in with fashion as well. The
it's
hot
2
pink
words.
singlet doing wonders.
Nice brace.
Nice. Really controlled. Super easy opener there. That's exactly what you want.
Let's see what the referees say. Should be good.
Of course. 3 white lights. Never any doubt.
Moving on to Victoria Nikolova, fellow Balkan member.
Balkan.
All
Did
the
you
way
say you're
from-
Balkan?
Well, Greeks don't like being called Balkans, but we belong in the Balkan Peninsula, so I'm pretty sure we should be referred as Balkans.
Okay.
So Victoria
If you
coming
say
on.
so.
Second comb for her.
Wow. So in Ultra Boost as well, you know, you got to say that's a bit bold, but some people do it.
Eyes, exactly. True.
Clearly works for her. Super easy, super quick. 3 white lights.
Very good. Good job, Victoria. Coming up, Anna Riviere representing Southampton Uni Powerlifting Club. Shout out to SUPL. She has been handling 2 lifters yesterday, so it's her time now to finish off strong. Hit some PBs on the platform. Coached by Sam Whale of Portsmouth, and she's on right now. Come on, Anna.
As a coach yourself, would you rather compete then handle, or handle then compete?
Ideally, do one of each, not both. But if you
Nice.
ask me, I'd rather compete first, handle later.
For sure. Looking very focused there. Super nice, super easy. Took her time. That's what you want to do. Never rush your first attempts.
Exactly. Fast opener, getting on the board, and then moving on to your game plan.
Exactly.
Next up, Jess Rogers,
Jess
training
Rogers.
out of Barbell Division, Southampton.
It's our home ground.
Exactly. Expect a major pop in the crowd with that. At least from us. Opening up with 110.
Let's go, Jess. This is her first competition. Handled by her sister, Tash.
Let's see if she lives up to the Rogers name of good squatters.
Great squatters.
Exactly.
Yeah, no issues there.
That was lovely.
Super proud sister on the sidelines there. Definitely going to put in another good attempt.
Moving on to
Sadie Blake.
Two and a half kilos more, and the bar is loaded. Oh, it's one rack in. Do you want to explain why lifters tend to choose one rack in for the squats?
I love having the one rack in. It basically means if you have a wide rack or you walk out with a quite bit of instability, it just means you have less of a chance for those plates to hit the uprights on the rack.
Absolutely. So it takes away the danger of making the bar hit the racks and messing up your footwork. And on an opener, you can probably take it, but on a third attempt, it would be something hard to tackle.
I believe they do it a lot at Euros as well because of the road rack. Super easy squat there for Sadie.
Excellent.
Everyone being super conservative. Very, very lovely opener so far.
And that's what you want to see, right?
That's exactly what you want.
Especially on a regional level comp, where you're not going for the national team or you're not going for the international medal. You should be aiming for something that is there and it's attainable.
And you want to end up somewhere. You don't want to open on your ending and then only have to jump 5 kilos. You want to pace yourself to where you can end on something much bigger.
Absolutely. We got Ava Reynolds opening up with 117.5 now. Steady workout. Makes good work. A little bit of not a fight, but a little bit more of a struggle than the previous openers, I'd say.
Yeah, we can watch a replay on that quickly and just see what... Yeah, I think everyone's squat's different. Sometimes slow is very good for people. It just means it's controlled. They can still end up with a lot more kilos on their bar.
Absolutely. We now have Catherine Dancy.
Great last name.
Of Team Goob.
Team Goop.
Mind you. Exactly.
Wow.
The man that brought down USPA. Shout out to Goob. And makes quick work of 120. And through what lies as expected.
Big jump now. 20 kilos to Rebecca Marsh. 140.
And she would be looking to make this look as easy as Catherine made 120 look.
Bar is loaded.
If it's the same Rebecca that I can see on Open IPF, she's opening up way above her PB, which is great to see.
Lifters making progress left, right and centre down in South Midlands.
And that was
Very
very
nice
controlled,
opener.
very technical. And if our data is correct, her previous PB was 125. She just made easy work of 140. Moving on,
Wow.
same weight for Shawnee Clutterbuck. So whoever's watching, you will see her walking a bit more stiff. That's because she's wearing single ply equipment. Do you want to explain what the single ply equipment means?
I don't think I'm the best too. Not famously, but I normally steer clear of the equip side, not through just through inexperience. But a suit and wraps are worn, designed to keep the lifter upright and stood upright. So going down in the squat, they'll have a lot more support coming back up. But the trade-off is you have to be a lot more technical and a lot more controlled with your lift to make sure you're using the equipment to the best of your ability.
Exactly, and the difference in the load creates differences in training because you're using higher absolute loads, which is scary if you ask me.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing some of the weights these equipped guys are doing.
Mad respect to them. And if you've seen equipped lifting before, you'd know that this would be a very good squat. No struggle whatsoever. Moving up, 155 for Jess Randall.
Now this is very, very big opener.
Exactly.
Having 63 lifter Hannah Clayton finish just above this on her third. We might be looking to see a whopping GL points by the end of this flight.
Potentially. Well, even being in the discussion to compete against Hannah would be a privilege.
Absolutely.
For a lifter.
Putting yourself above accomplished lifters that have gone to worlds is always quite surreal.
Gets a start command. Then goes up.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what the refs say about that.
Very quick. And the referees, they like it, 2-1.
2-1. I think she got one red on the side due to depth. It's the angle we saw as well on the replay, which was cut slightly short, slightly high.
I can't say anything. All my lifts at Bucks got one red light for depth, so
I guess if you admit that your lifts are high, then you're allowed to say it. On that note, we're moving on to the second round of squats. So after the lifters finish their first attempts, they all submit their choice for a second attempt, and we go back again to Sophie Gay with 95 kilos, a 10 kilo increase from her opener. Should be good for her.
nice and controlled. Really sank that.
That is great. There was a little bit of a fight towards the lockout, but
Sticking point never hurt nobody.
exactly, spot on. Do you reckon she has 5 more kilos?
I always put a bet on that someone has 5 more kilos, especially with a squat.
Good stuff.
Depends if her CNS has it, I think is a big determining factor. Okay, 105 kilos now, another 10 kilo jump from Manpreet.
Let's see how 10 kilos treat her. Equally focused, equally locked in. Easy work.
Very, very nice. Let's see what the refs say. Yeah, 2-1, a good lift. Again, I think on our side that did look a little bit cut, but sometimes it's just how a lifter lifts.
Let's see the replay. It was, it wasn't as to brass, but I'd say from my perspective it would look good. But again, very good to the refs. They have a better angle being really close to the platform.
They've also got to make these decisions really quickly. They don't have a replay like us.
Exactly, they have to make it within the split of a second. Moving on to Victoria Nikolova. 10 kilo jump for her as well.
10 kilo jump being popular. Made that light work.
Bulgarian power right there.
I'd say she could go a lot more than 10 kilos.
Exactly. And she's having good fun now. She's celebrating with her fist in the air.
12 kilos now. Anna.
Oh wow, that is scary. When you had me go up, what was it, 17.5 kilos? Or 12 or 15?
You're testing my memory now.
I was slightly scared, so watching Anna
Never be scared of a big jump.
fired up, ready to take this for a ride is something in itself. Let's see how she fares. Gets the start command. She is fired
Really
up.
excited. The referees also say, well, we'll find out. 3 white lights. There we
That
go.
was a good lift.
What do you think she'll go to next?
It's really hard to gauge Donna. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes 122.5, but I would love her to go 120.
I think 120 might be more feasible.
Yeah.
Sadie Blake now. 117 kilos.
I believe she's done the key set qualifier in the past. She's actually
Yes.
done 2 more comps, so fairly seasoned lifter. Not her first rodeo, so we should expect something like this to move pretty well. That would be a PB as well. I mean, the previous one was as well a PB, but she's now extending her personal best.
Yeah.
Great work.
You know it's going to be a great day of squatting when your descent into the squat is slower than your ascent.
Exactly.
Nice and controlled.
Which is something we've never managed to figure
No.
out.
All my squats are slow. They always feel bad, but they get the job done.
Coming up now, Jess Rogers.
She's smiling. She's happy.
She's having good fun.
I think she had
Cass is smiling as well.
Yeah, that's good. I think she was having a bit of nerves before, but she's clearly finding her groove. She's getting ready.
Let's go, Jess. Crowd getting behind her.
A lot of barbell division guys back here.
And gals.
And girls, of course. Probably more girls than guys. I think, in fact, the only guys here are us and Kieran.
That is true.
Wow.
That was great.
A beautiful second attempt.
We love to see it. We love it too.
Maybe not another 10-kilo jump, but she's definitely got probably 7 there, I'd say.
I wouldn't be surprised if she goes 127.
And that's a great squat, especially for a first comp. What do we have now?
Ava Reynolds now.
Reynolds. 122. Quite a small jump, but some lifters just operate better on smaller jumps.
Keep in mind, percentage-wise, whether top-end strength is. This might make sense from,
Yeah, exactly.
from a percentage standpoint.
It really is up to the handler on how they want to dictate their lifters' jumps. If it's percentage or just absolute load. Maybe you can do it by RPE as well, but... Wow.
That's
Quick
a steady
unrack.
workout. Quite of a low bar, but fairly upright in her stance.
Nope, not anymore. Oh, fights it.
She
I
nods
don't
in a
think
negative
she's happy.
way.
I don't think she's happy.
It looked good from our end. I'm not sure what happened.
3 white lights. Maybe she just went off balance.
Do you reckon she misgrooved it? Yeah. Let's see the replay.
That's it. Okay.
It did look good on our end. And
Her feet look planted, so she might have just shifted her weight accidentally onto her toes or heels.
so what would you want to look for a second attempt on your athletes and yourself? How would you want this to
That's a
feel?
great question. Myself is normally quite light, but for my athletes I'd look towards not a top end, but something where you can guess between a 10 and a 7 kilo jump.
Right.
I'd like to get like as many kilos as possible out of a second attempt.
So that you can gamble on the third one.
Yeah, exactly.
Quiet crowd now for Catherine.
Oh, fights it.
Sticks with it. Gets rewarded with a good lift. Well done, Catherine. Only her second comp, so she's really growing into the sport now. Moving on to Rebecca Marsh with 150 kg. Wow. And yeah, I guess you do want something heavy enough to challenge you as a second attempt, but you don't want to overextend.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you might leave kilos on the platform, not because you will have to put something high on the third, but you might get limited. You might get limited energy for your third attempt, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I'd say you want your second to third jump to be normally between 7 and 10 kilos. Otherwise, it's too small, and I think you've kind of tired your body out to get that third.
Fair game, mate. Rebecca gets a start command
Nice and slow descent.
and makes good
From
work of that.
my angle, unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's depth. Let's see what the refs say. 2 to 1. A good lift. Centre ref wasn't happy, but a good lift's a good lift.
great for pushing back, getting under her hips under the bar, and she should have a little bit more for her third attempt. Moving on to Shawnee, our equipped lifter on the flight. Moving on, 15 kilos, and ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen equipped lifting, you will now see what it means for an equipped lifter to struggle. It's both scary in my, if you ask me, it's both scary, but it's also
scary to watch.
Quite fun.
I remember watching Dean Bowering at the Manchester Open doing his second squat. I've never been more terrified in my life.
Yes. I was handling the live stream for the South Mids Bench Fest, and equipped benching is, you have to be on your toes as a spotter. So Shawnee now, good descent.
Nice and
Good
slow.
step.
Pushes through.
Oh
Gets it
my
up.
God, yes.
And I think that's a great showcase of how on point you have to be with the positioning
Correct.
for equipped lifting.
Good lift. Definitely a fight. We're not sure if she has more in the tank, or if this was a technique misgroove and maybe she could get something more out of it. Moving on to Jessica Randall, 15 kilos jump.
Wow, 15 kilos is a great jump. But for this absolute weight, it's incredible to see. 170 kilos.
And that should be a PB for Jessica Randall.
Wow.
Her PB is 162.5, and she's now ready to extend this to 170.
We might be looking at, potentially 103 GL points here.
My God.
Unfathomable.
Imagine being that strong.
I can't. Not yet, at least.
You will soon.
I will. Gets it up. A nice fight. That's exactly what you want from the second attempt.
Let's see the depth.
Yeah. Ah,
Yeah.
not there today, unfortunately. But she's got another attempt to pick that up.
I think if she stays consistent, yeah, from our angle it looked a bit high. I believe she's got it though, because it didn't look heavy on her on rack. It didn't look like she was struggling with the weight on her back. So I'm adamant that she will come back and smoke this.
Sometimes it's just a physical cue things where lifters, they're more folded so they feel like they're deeper. I used to have that all the time.
That is correct, both you and me, brother. Moving on, third round of squats, opening up around Sophie Gay, 5 more kilos from 95, which looked good, as much of a fight as you wanted it to be. So this should be a test of her strength and willpower.
Nice and controlled into the bottom there. Really picks it up, fights through the sticking point,
Absolutely.
gets it locked out.
Massive.
Wow.
Great work.
Love to see grinds like that on a third attempt.
And it's a good lift.
Wow.
I did mention willpower, and you might want to back me up on that. It's not just about whether you have the strength to lift it. On loads above your 95% of your 1RM,
You've got to believe.
you have to want it on that day. You have to be turned on.
This is a big thing I was preaching to you, brother. I was saying you've got to believe how strong you are, and then you'll be way more stronger.
You have to say it live. You had to say this live, didn't you? You have to.
I had to say it live.
But yes, you are correct. I dug my own grave there. Manpreet Kaur,
112.
7.5 more kilos than her second, and her second moved very well. So
Oh,
wow,
fights it.
she did decide to make a variation of a pose squat on her way
Wanted
upwards.
to pause it on the way up.
That is a good lift.
Makes it a little bit harder for her, it's fine. There we go.
We are now back with the intensity queen herself, smelling all the salts. Are these Marcus Berridge's salts? I don't want to know.
Let's
Have
hope
you-
not for her sake.
Have you tried smelling salts in the past? Do they
I
work for
have.
you?
I believe it was Jordan Bollard actually when I was handling someone shoved some in my nose and I nearly cried. So it wasn't my best experience.
She seems to be thriving off of them though. Look at that.
Clearly, some people need them. You need to get hyped up and you need to get yourself in the zone. And if smelling salts do that,
Fair game.
I'm not gonna hate.
Steady
Very
rap.
steady on rack. You love to see it. Nice and controlled.
Scream before the start command.
Maybe screaming at the ref.
Give me the start command.
Yeah, fights it, gets it up.
My God.
Looked easier than the second. Shocked at her own performance there.
Absolutely mad vibes.
Very happy with the 3 white lights.
Stopped her way out of the platform. She's having a great day.
I believe she's very happy with that. Well done, Anna.
Congratulations.
Victoria now.
SUPL, proud of you. And now Victoria, 10 more kilos. I do believe it's a good choice of a third attempt. She did have a great second attempt. Easier than what you're expecting, and she's on now.
Gets under the bar.
Calm, collected. She's a person that is reserved to herself, but she's as determined as everyone.
That's too easy to be a third attempt there. Wow.
Good work, 3 white lights. And one comment I'd have to make about this is, I was refereeing at Victoria's first comp, and she did make a few technical mistakes. So I do believe part of having a good competition is knowing the rules and being able to abide by the rules.
Absolutely.
So your lifts are good, considered good. And not having to worry about throwing the bar back or skipping a command or two.
Hey, everyone skipped a command. I remember doing that. My first bucks.
Oh, did you?
I did, and then I swore on platform. So I was very much in the deep end after that.
Excellent.
Sadie Blake. Only a 2.5 kilo jump. Maybe wants to either preserve herself for deadlifts or
Potentially.
potentially. Maybe as much as she thinks he has. Yeah, very, very nice and controlled there.
And a 3 white lights, it's a good lift. However, what I was about to say is, do you reckon, based on different speeds of lifts from different people, maybe that was close to her top end strength?
It could be, and I think you see this with some lifters as well, like maybe plus 5 kilos could be the difference of like an RP6 lift and an RP10.
Exactly.
Top end strength sometimes just fizzles out due to a range of reasons, so you just want to be conservative if you're one of those people.
So let's see how our plan plays out on the bench and deadlift.
Plus 5 for Ava. Let's see if she's going to be happy with this squat. This looks like a nice jump, so she must be feeling confident she's got it.
Exactly, so it must have been a technical mistake on the second one
Yeah,
that
I
she was
believe so.
disappointed in. Let's see.
Yeah,
Great work.
fights it.
Oh, wow. Good job, Ava. Let's see what the
Really
referees
fights
say.
that. Referees say. Ooh, 3 white lights.
Good job, congratulations. And I've seen people with that low of a low bar and a stance similar to hers struggling at the top end of the range of
Yeah.
motion, and it's something that if you don't see it, it doesn't make sense to you. As in, oh, you got the lift, why did you not just push through? It's supposed to be the hardest right up there.
Just right at the end there. Probably when you have the most confidence to lock it out, so.
Speaking of confidence, Jess Rogers, 10 more kilos on the bar for her.
Really feeling her squats today. I believe this will be a huge PB inside of the gym and
We're soon
obviously
gonna have
on
a
the
Rogers.
platform.
We're soon gonna have a Rogers battle.
Yeah. Wow.
Great stuff.
Great squat. Had a lot more than I thought.
Look at that.
Super happy with herself there. Look at her go.
Excellent. She is celebrating,
Very, very happy
And-
Rogers family right now.
and rightfully so.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be a good day for the Rogers family.
Absolutely, they are yelling and screaming behind us, and rightfully so. There, we should be
Rightfully so
celebrating.
indeed.
Catherine Dancy, 5 more kilos. We believe she's got it.
I
She
think she's
believes
got
she's got
it.
it.
Sure. If I see a 5 kilo jump, it's normally got to be a sure thing unless a lifter unfortunately makes a technical mistake.
Exactly. Trying to make Good proud. Good Barmy proud. Settles in. Gets the command.
Pushes. Oh. Good catch by the spotters there.
It's probably because she's quite bent over,
Yes.
even at the start, so this not maximizes. This makes it even worse on the ascent. Yes, you saw how she got. I'm not sure whether the replay's on, but you saw she folded slightly on her ascent. But it's something that she will come back and smoke it next time. Moving on to Rebecca Morse, 2.5 more kilos. And 2.5 is the minimum jump a lifter can make, unless they are planning to hit the record, which in that case they can make even a half a kilo jump from a previous attempt.
Gotta love those half kilo jumps.
I'm sure you do. You've got one of your own, don't you?
I did. There you go, fights through it.
Great work. Let's see what the
refs
referees
say. 3 white lights, they're very happy with that.
Good lift.
Good
Congratulations,
lift indeed.
Rebecca.
160 now for Shawnee. Again, let's see.
Shawnee
how
Clutterbuck, 5 more kilos. Looking to take as much as she can from her suit. Sitting all the way back, getting that elastic kinetic energy. Actually, it's not kinetic, it's dynamic energy. Elastic dynamic energy.
Get your energies right now, come on. You're supposed to be professionals here.
I know. It's been a year since I've talked about that stuff.
Oh.
I believe she's not coming out.
No.
So they're going to let the minute run just for the next lifters to get a couple of extra seconds to rest.
That's great sportsmanship.
At this moment, I'd like to thank our sponsors, SPD, Pullum, Eleiko.
Yes.
Am I forgetting something?
Let's quickly have a look. A lot of gracious sponsors. No, I do believe it's Eleiko, SPD, and Pullum.
Thank you to SPD, Eleiko, Pullum for providing us with prize money, gift cards.
And prizes.
Exactly, overall.
And to the execs who organised this lovely comp.
Yes, exactly. The South Midlands board for organising the South Midlands Open again for a second time after 2019, which apparently was a comp ahead of its time, having brought Gino over, the infamous MC from the US, having brought a couple of international lifters apparently.
Wow, that's really interesting. Before my time.
Exactly.
175 now for Jess.
Jess
Good noise
Rando
being made in the building.
looking to make good work out of this. 175. She missed 175 on her previous comp. She's looking
Which
to get
was
redemption
1
here.
month ago.
Exactly. Wow.
Let's see how she
that.
fares here. Looking determined. Yeah, I believe that's dead there.
Oh no.
It's not there.
Unfortunate. A bit too much.
Missing out on what could have been 25 kilos, unfortunately.
I believe she did have 170 if she wanted to. If she wanted to go for it again, she chose to.
100%.
She chose to gamble. Sometimes it pays off.
Absolutely. And if ultimately if you want to win, you've got to make some of these choices.
Exactly.
So a completely respectable decision to jump that 5.
You did so at the Junior Nationals, didn't you? When you got called for depth on your second attempt on squats.
Yeah, I did. That's just me being a bit of a fatty and not knowing how to hit depth. So
We do not body shame by any way, shape or form. I have to apologize for the color commentator's comments.
only
I
myself.
do not apologize to anyone. Moving on to Flight D now, which is comprised of sub-junior lifters. And that's because of the late rule change in IPF, where sub-juniors are not allowed to compete in the open weight class. So they will have to compete on a flight of their own. Starting off with Dan Mason, 60 kilos on the bar. These are some of the youngsters, the prospects.
The future.
The South Midlands prospects.
I'm sure these faces will be a lot more prominent in the coming years. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I feel like he's saving himself for a deadlift from that.
Did Kasimov Creative sped up the camera there? What happened? Is this live or is this sped up? What happened? Moving on to Millie Thomas Wilcox, 80 kilos. Looking to make this fly potentially as fast as Dan Mason's. We'll see.
Maybe you should do the exact same. Oh, wow. These pesky sub-juniors, you never know what they're doing.
She looks quite focused, quite determined. Let's see how she fares. Gets the bar out.
Handler rallying behind her. Nice and controlled into the hole. Shoots it back up.
It looked
Re-racks
easy.
it,
Let's
and
see
the
about the tab.
referees- 2-1. It's a good lift.
Congratulations. It did look on the live a bit high, however, the referees have a lot better angle than us.
Absolutely.
And she
Very
gets
close
this.
up.
Moving on to Finn Slater, 120 kilos on the bar, weight in at 89.4.
A 120 kilos for Finn.
Comes out, calm, collected. He probably knows he's got this.
Speedy on rack there. Gets the command. Sinks it.
Oh,
raises up. Wow. These sub-juniors really are deciding to opt
Did they not have
for a
enough time
much
to do the
lighter-
warm-ups in the
No,
warm-up room, so
apparently
they just
not.
they're bringing them over here?
It's like, oh, if I can't do my warm-ups, then I'll be fine.
Moving on to James Willer now. Something to note about James is that he's 14 years old. He's making his powerlifting debut at 14. I was playing video games at 14. I don't think I've ever lifted anything more than my own body. And he's opening up with 120 kilos at 59, at having weighed in less than 59 actually.
57.5.
Exactly. Let's see how this moves.
Wow.
You know
That's a
what?
great
If
lift.
he makes squat and bench bench and deadlift openers look equally good, I think Southmids might be onto something now. They might have their next great lifter.
Absolutely. You'd love to see these young lifters rise up.
Good work. Up next, Ethan Lim is 150 kilos, having weighed in at 64.2. It's quite a common trait to see sub-juniors weighing in slightly less than the weight limit, and that is because they're growing into a weight class. They don't care that much about water cutting. They just, if you're a young lifter, you want to make sure you get as much muscle mass as possible while training for strength, that is. So if you weigh in 87, 89, it doesn't really matter in the long term.
I think one of my biggest mistakes was trying to cut into my first meet. Gets down command.
That was a solid opener.
Nice, very solid.
It's a good
Three
lift.
white lights, yeah.
He celebrates, so it must be a previously challenging way for him. And one thing you will notice about sub-juniors, and you included, because you're a sprint chicken yourself, is they tend to make jumps in strength very frequently. As you might see increase in total by 50 kilos from one comp to another.
Yeah, you know, you can attribute that to age. You know, they have more time to get the externals right that perhaps open or older junior lifters can't, or you know, have more struggles with.
Edward Hamlet up now with 170 kilos. Jolly fella all around. Let's see how his opener fares. Easy one. So Edward told me, so he came up from sub-junior nationals. He's looking to compete in the All Englands, so this is kind of like an in-between comp where he's looking just to get more preparation, more experience on the platform to make the big comps where they matter look less intimidating, I guess.
I think it's a very good strategy. Sometimes you have to do it. I had a massive off season after last year, and then going into juniors, I wasn't really prepared for how big of an atmosphere it was, and it kind of made me a little bit shaky for my squats.
And that is why you want to do as many comps as possible while you're at it. Liam Peck
Wow, sank it.
taking 174 a
Really
ride
used
right
his
there.
momentum there.
Good work, man.
Great lift.
Ooh, mixes
Again.
the exit point
Oh no.
by a little bit.
Another 170 for Salman. Salman Khan.
So Salman Khan, I believe he has the South Mids deadlift record. I will confirm this right now. Yes, by 255. So we're gonna know now if he's having a good day or not.
Oh, you can tell by his deadlift opener. Wow. 250.
Oh god.
Eleco singlet. Rare
Yes.
to see nowadays.
I remember who was it? Ellie Pacey. I first saw this singlet at Bucks. Like, oh, that's a nice singlet. She said, it's shit. We just laughed about it.
Easy.
Good stuff.
opener there. No, the only other person I've seen in an Eleco singlet is Brad Horn, Portsmouth's very own.
So it's
120 plus, 120, 105, whatever he decides to be on the day.
if anything, it's a trade of strong individuals wearing it. We've just received word that Brad Horn is cutting down to 105. Oh my! How does it feel like being 105 and having to compete against that man now?
I'm not going to be the strongest 105 in South Midlands anymore.
Well, we're gonna have to find out.
That's a shame.
Moving on to Georgi Todorov. Apparently, Salman Khan got a no lift due to potentially depth. There was a delay in our scoring system, so we're not sure. Georgi Todorov up with 175 on the bar. Good workout.
Nice and controlled. On the way down and the way up. Almost
Makes
the same
good work of
tempo.
it. Makes good work of it. Let's see what the referees say. Yes, 2-1.
Good lift.
It did look slightly borderline, but that's the angle we've got, and that's the angle that was given a no lift.
2 highlights is all you need, brother.
True. Very correct comment from our cameraman and live stream master, Lucas, who made sure to mention that if you're on a national level combat, there's a jury. 2 white lights do not guarantee a good lift.
Really easy. 180 over there for
Second
Jovan.
makes easy work.
Jovan. Yes. 3 highlights. He's confident. He's happy. Going on to our second attempt. Nice 10 kilo jump for Millie.
So what happened was Dan Mason increased his second attempt by 40 kilos, so he jumped ahead of Millie. And the way that it goes is because the bar will only go up, Millie is now opening the flight, whereas Dan Mason was opening up prior.
That does give Millie less time to prepare and Dan more time.
Exactly.
It's kind of indifferent in a standard 10-person flight, but when you're in those 8-person or maybe even 7-person flights, that really does make all the difference.
Fun fact, in junior Euros in Hungary, there was a Greek lifter that didn't make his second attempt, so he retook it, and because it was such a small flight, he was opening up 4th, and then he ended up opening 2nd, so he only rested for like 3 minutes. So an attempt selection, a proper attempt selection, will give you an advantage in the rest time. Let's see Millie now with 90 kilos. Should be good work.
Nice tempo down. Sinks it even more. Has
Stays
a
with
little bit
it.
of hip rise. But sticks with it.
Good
Gets the
stuff,
lockout.
Millie.
And the referees. What do they say? They said 2-1. It's a good lift. 100 kilos. Maybe he just loves these big jumps, you know. People like Ashton Rooster, Bob Matthews, taking these big 50 kilo jumps. Let's add Dan Mason to that list.
Could be the next Bob Matthews. Difference
Could be.
is Bob squats 3.5 times that. But you never know.
Sometimes it's just how the lifter likes to lift.
The guy's smiling. He's having a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Maybe
he was just looking up for an injury, realised
Exactly.
it wasn't there, and was like, okay, we can load it now.
he's living the moment. He wants to flex his quad, so he didn't even wear sleeves. Like, take a look at my legs.
Okay, it's easy. I think there might be an injury at play where he's just trying to figure it out. get these squats on, go as heavy as you can without flaring up.
Good stuff though. We could expect potentially another 40 kilos increase. On the
Yeah, I
third one.
hope so after that.
Coming up, James Wheeler, who made a 5 kilo increase, 5 kilo jump from his first attempt. That is the man to look out for if you're a 59 kilo lifter.
And I looked earlier, I believe the best junior squat as a 59 is 170 by Ishjak. Now doing 125 as a sub junior is very, very impressive.
My God. Let's go, James.
Oh, has a huge sticking point.
Sticks with it,
Runs
though.
through it, sticks with it nicely.
And gets rewarded with 3 white lights. Good stuff by James. Coming up, Finn Slater with 15 kilos jump. This will show us how locked in he is and what to expect as a third attempt. Takes the bar out, gets the right command, the start command,
Yeah,
and he makes easy work of that.
I think these sub juniors are trying to save for something. Perhaps a very impressive deadlift. Have a look.
It's great though because it shows that the younger lifters come in with already a proper competition etiquette, with a proper culture of the sport. So they're not overextending, they're not doing any of the mistakes older ones did.
I think they're on the table back there.
Ethan now with 157.5, 7.5 more kilos. This should be good work for him. What do you think,
Nice
Josh?
squad there. I'm going to watch a replay quickly. My attention was called somewhere else. Unfortunately, 2-1.
Yes.
Let's just figure out why.
I believe depth wasn't for
Yeah, from our angle there, it looks a little bit higher than hairline.
both squads looked borderline, so if referees may give you the benefit of the doubt on the first one, they're less inclined to give it on the second one. That's what I found out. So
Well, that was a big part that was shown to me when I started powerlifting. Is sink your first, so you have no doubt on the second if it's higher.
that is a good strategy to go by. Simon Canno looking to retake 170. It did move good. It must have been a depth issue. We were not sure about it. Taking his time.
Yeah, it gets it up quickly.
That
What do you
looked
think there?
I think that looked a bit better.
It did look better on my end. Unfortunately, the referees don't agree.
A yellow card. That's probably for skipping the squat
skipping
or rack
command.
command. I'm not sure. And one thing to notice is, in order to hit a record and make it count, you have to make at least one attempt of a good lift on the other disciplines.
Absolutely, yeah.
So even if the strength is there for the deadlift, it won't count if you can't make a good squat.
No.
So he's with the back against the wall now. Moving on though.
I think it'll be a case of just having to go up, go behind to grasp.
Moving on to Edward Hadnett, coached by Charlie of Redbeard Barber Club.
Handled by Barber Division's Jake McGarth.
Yes, who really put up a performance for years to come.
Really becoming maybe a prodigy in the Barber Division in the 83s.
Good stuff there.
Great stuff. 3 white lights for Edward there. Got Liam now, 185 kilos. It's almost embarrassing to think these sub-juniors doing way more weight than I was doing at their age.
It's because the talent pool is getting deeper
It's getting so much deeper.
almost every year.
I did sport when I was younger and some of these sub-juniors age, but still, you know, Anytime I was asked to do press-ups or bench when I played rugby, it was nowhere near what these guys can do now. Wow, really
that.
fights it. I think he hits a rack there. Gets the rack command. 3 white lights, you've got to be happy
It's
with
a
that.
good lift. Let's see the replay.
I think he hits the upright with his plates. Maybe just skims it.
Maybe, yeah, barely grazing it, but he must have lost a little bit of tension because he
Oh, for
really did a
sure.
fast descent.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you descend that fast and you don't keep tight on your core and your on your back, you end up having the bar translate forward or backwards, and you end up trying to catch the bar. So Chovan now with 190.
Super solid second attempt there. He's making sure he's got room for a very sizable third.
That was a great second attempt selection. He seems to be having a good day.
Georgie now. He's just getting ready.
A lot of the bodies loaded for him. You have 1 minute as a lifter to go out on the squats and receive the start command. You can wait as much as you like within limits.
Yes.
Once you receive the squat command, so it's enough time, but you don't have all the time in the world. You need to hurry.
You've got to be prepared, but you can
Yes.
have a nice steady approach to the bar.
Correct.
Lets out a decent scream.
no.
Oh. Unfortunately, 190 doesn't seem to be there, but he's got another attempt to showcase for it.
He will come back and he will smart that.
I think there might be an issue with
He-
maybe some technique-wise where he just needs to stay a little bit more secure.
It did look like he was trying to catch the bar while it was going forward.
Yes.
So he must have been thrown out of position, but it might be something that he can come back and nail it. We're just gonna have to wait now, because we've got Millie Thomas Wilcox, 5 more kilos than her second attempt, which is what we'd expect more or less. Do you have good feelings about this?
I think it'll be good. I think third attempt squats, they can be a gamble, but most of the time you want them to be a sure thing that's going to be heavy. And if it's a PB, that's a bigger bonus on top of it.
Exactly. And in regional competitions, unless there's money involved or anything else, or if you're looking to qualify for nationals, you should hear something that's a PB.
Whoa. Fights it, gets it up. However, I did think there was downward movement there as she
At the
sunk
hole,
back into the
correct.
hole. But it's 2-1, a good lift.
She gets it.
Maybe it was just on our
It's
side.
away with it. Let's see the replay. There was a slight downward movement, but it was so subtle, maybe it wasn't as clear from the front.
Yeah.
Because part of the bar has been hidden by the lifter's back and torso.
Exactly.
Coming up, James Wheeler there. 5 more kilos than the second. This kid is really making a name for himself.
This is super impressive stuff here. Let's see if you can fight through that sticking point once again. It's nice. He's got a very narrow stance on his squat there.
Expecting to pull conventional, but let's see.
Absolutely. Sinks it. Oh, just not there
Just a
today.
little bit too much.
He's got a bright future though. And he's still got bench and deadlift, so
Exactly.
we're going to see a very, very nice total from him.
Same weight on the bar for Dan Mason, who didn't go up 40 kilos, but he did choose to go up 30 kilos. So, still impressive.
Yeah. 30 kilo jump down, not interested. OG Converse for lifting. Clearly a fan of Westside.
Still no struggle.
No struggle. I think maybe he's got to be saving himself for something, or he just doesn't realise how strong he is.
Dan, if you listen back to this live stream, you got so much more you made. You might as well go there and take it.
No, that's Canada.
It's probably his first comp as well, so he's just looking to see where his top end strength is.
think this is
now
his first comp.
with 142.5.
Oh, gets out of position, but fights it up. Let's see what the referees say here. They say, unfortunately, 3 red lights. I think there's a lot of downward movement there.
It's a no lift due to downward movement. So one of the rules in powerlifting on any lift, squat, bench or deadlift, is you have to, as soon as you begin the ascent, you have to make the lift in one fluid motion. If you let the bar go down, it's considered a no lift.
There's been many a controversy over the validation of this lift, but we won't get into that today.
Correct. Ethan lived now 2.5 kilos more than his second, which moved well. It was, I believe, a depth issue.
Yes, so I think it was.
We think he's got it.
I think you've got to have confidence to hit heavy singles with depth, and in competition, obviously, it's needed. So
He's pulling a Josh Smith now. Let's see if it pays out.
Josh Smith doesn't hit his first 2 squats. Gets it up.
Good stuff.
Referees decide it's a good.
It's a 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
The gamble paid off.
Sometimes it's very, very worth it to gamble. Speaking of gambles, let's see if Salman Khan can get deep enough to make
This is a man on a
squat.
mission right now, because he needs to make this in order to have a shot at his own deadlift record later down the line.
Some would say he's locked in.
He appears to be.
He's
Doesn't appear to be nervous.
very locked in. Well, it's an opener weight for him still.
Yeah.
It's just depth.
Let's see it now, Samuel.
I believe he can get it. It's just knowing where that depth is sometimes is a big issue for a lifter, including myself.
I think he knows it too. He just needs to go out there and make a case for it.
You've got to put your hamstrings to your calves for this. Again, it's easy. What did the refs say?
It
3
is a good
white
lift.
lights. He's on the board. You've got to be relieved after that. I don't think there's a feeling like it.
He should be relieved. If he's not, I'm relieved for him.
Yes.
And most importantly, the plan is still in motion. He will have a shot, I'm pretty sure, at his own deadlift record down the line. So we will get to see it. We will get to see it broken.
182.5 now for Edward. Wow.
Let's go, Edward. This
Nice colour coordination with the red and black
That is
singlet
great.
and knee sleeves. And the SBD top. And the plates, as Lucas says.
Everything is.
He's clearly
in
thought about this.
coordination with him.
Everything's planned for this man.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I think it keeps
Extremely well calculated squat. That's quite conservative, I would say.
correct.
Perhaps saving for a deadlift.
I think he saves himself for All Englands, which are in a month from now, if I'm not mistaken.
Very close indeed, yes.
So when you have 2 comps fairly back to back, what's your approach to that?
First things first, I normally cry. Because back-to-back comps seem to be my life at the moment. But after that, you've got to realise that one of them has to take a small back seat, and you can't go, all out. But when you get that chance to go all out, it's even more rewarding. You use one of the comps as a learning experience.
Exactly. So as we talked about before, kind of do as many comps as you can realistically can.
That's a steady setup there.
Let's
Gets the
see
down command.
if you can come back and make it work.
Gets depth. Just not there. I think, again, just my opinion, but maybe keeping the head in the same place during a lift does probably help a lifter get those few extra kilos just by securing your stability. Moving your head does create a bit of more motion.
I do agree with you on that, and it appeared that the load was almost there the first time, but you become quite tired when you grind out a load and it doesn't work out.
absolutely.
So the second time round, unless it's a very technical mistake, it might not be as easy to lift it. Moving on though, same weight on the bar for Liam Peck.
Liam Peck looking absolutely huge
He did
in that
log-
SBD singlet.
Yeah, he did log 185. Let's see about 190.
Sinks it, just pushes through it. That's so much easier than a second.
Excellent. Even better than the second one. You're absolutely right.
Stares at those white lights. He's like, yes, I did get those white lights. I am Liam Peck, and I squatted 190 kilos.
He is him.
He
3 for 3.
is him.
Speaking of 3 for 3, Jova second, looking, apologies if I butchered the name.
You're doing a better job than me, brother.
I'm not sure about that. Looking to go 3 for 3. On a
202.5.
12.5 kilo jump, more than his second, so he must be having a good day. His second attempt was reserved, so let's see about the third one.
Yeah.
Great work.
Pushes through. Gets a rack mount. Referees say 3 white lights.
Good stuff from him.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
We're going to go into a small break now before continuing with bench.
We just finished squats with Jova.
Good. You?
Stay. We're gonna be back in about 10 minutes for the bench.
See you very shortly.
Hi, I'm Bobby Butters. Welcome to the SBD manufacturing facility. We are here today to take a look through the range of knee sleeves that are made right here in Sheffield. There are 3 different types of knee sleeves available, and while they may look similar, each type offers different levels of flexibility and compression, making each knee sleeve ideal for different types of training. The one thing that unifies every version of the SBD knee sleeve is the spiral design that allows the sleeve to be constructed from a single panel of neoprene with a single seam. The single panel design avoids the need for multiple seams in the neoprene, which can create discomfort. The spiral seam reduces the ride in the knee sleeve with flexion and spreads the stress on the seam, reducing the risk of the seam failing as the forces on the seam do not act perpendicular to it. Let's take a look at each type so you can decide which will work best for your training. For each one, we will look at the materials that make each sleeve unique, the level of compression each one offers, and the types of training each knee sleeve is designed for. We will start with the weightlifting knee sleeve. These sleeves are made from 5mm neoprene and have a 4-way stretch fabric, allowing for light to medium compression and support throughout a greater range of motion. They come with an abrasion-resistant exterior lining and an antimicrobial inner lining to maximise the longevity of the sleeve. As the name suggests, the primary use of these knee sleeves are the weightlifting movements, the snatch and the clean and jerk. They are also ideal for dynamic movements that require a greater range of motion than the powerlifting squat.
Powerlifting is a sport comprised of 3 lifts: the squat, bench press and the deadlift. Each lifter has 3 attempts at each lift and 1 minute to complete each attempt. 3 referees each give a white light in case of a good lift and a red light in case of a no lift. The athletes are separated by their weight class, age category and gender. The biggest total in a respective category will win. The first movement of the competition is the squat. Once the athlete unracks the bar, stands upright with the knees locked and the bar firmly placed on their back, the head referee gives a squat command. The lifter then bends their knees and lowers their body until the hip joint is lower than the top surface of the knees. The lifter then comes back up, locking the hips and knees in order to complete the lift. The head referee will then give the rack command and the athlete must then place the bar back on the squat rack. There are 3 main technical mistakes that would give an athlete a no lift. Firstly, if the athlete is not standing erect with the knees and hips locked at the beginning and at the end of the lift. Secondly, the lifter will get a no lift if the proper competition depth is not reached at the bottom of the movement. That is, if the hip joint is higher than the top of the knee joint. Third, if the athlete does not complete the lift in one swift upward movement, meaning if the bar goes up and down before finishing the lift, this will also be considered a no lift. The bench press is a second movement performed in a powerlifting competition. Whilst lying down on the bench, an athlete creates the following points of contact with the bench: the head, the shoulders and the glutes. An arch is authorized which allows for a stronger position for many, as long as those points of contact with the bench continue to be met. The lifter can grip the bar at any width as long as it does not exceed the maximum width, which is index finger on the rings of the bar. Once the lifter has established their position on the bench, the bar is unracked, either by the lifter themselves or with the aid of a lift-off from a spotter. The lifter's feet must lay flat on the ground during the lift. Once the referees observe that the lifter has their head and glutes in contact with the bench and the feet flat on the floor, the head referee will give the start command. The lifter then lowers the bar to the chest. The lower underside of both of the elbow joints must be level or below the top surface of the shoulder joints. The bar must remain motionless on the chest, at which point the referee will give a press command. The lifter will press the bar off their chest until complete extension of the elbow has been achieved. The head referee will give the rack command, at which point the lift will be complete. There are 4 main reasons why a lifter may fail a bench press despite the completion of the lift. Firstly, if the lifter's elbows are not fully extended at the beginning or end of the movement. If on the descent the elbows are not below the top of the shoulder joint, this is also considered a no lift. The third reason for failure is if the lifter is unable to meet all points of contact with the bench, that is, the head, glutes and shoulders. Finally, the lift must be completed in one upward movement without any downward motion. The deadlift is the final movement as the head referee calls it. The lifts start the lift in conventional or sumo position. The athlete must pull the bars, hips and knees are fully locked. Once the head referee deems these are locked, they will give the down command. The bar must be lowered to the ground without being dropped before it hits the floor. It is at the end of deadlifts that a lifter's total is made, at which the placings are determined and the winner is known. There are 4 main reasons for technical failure in the deadlift. Firstly, if the lifter's shoulders, hips and knees
Sorry.
I'll get him up now in a second.
Castle Creative doing wonders on the production. This team, one-man team, is amazing. Nick, how could you say that? She's what? She's 15 years old. Oh. And the bar is loaded. 40 kilos for Victoria. By the way, welcome back. We're on the women's bench. Yeah, easy opener there.
Makes good work at 40 kilos.
3 white lights, as expected.
I spoke to Victoria during the break, and she and her coach / handler, they did rep her openers for a few reps just to make sure she would be technically on it, because it's something that she suffered from in the past.
Where technically?
Weird strategy, but you know, if it works, it works. She did skip the start command or the rack command, so we wanted to make sure.
I believe you actually opened up really light on your deadlift yesterday, just to be there technically. So
That is correct. But and also I know I can make a bigger jump from first to second and not having to sacrifice upper back fatigue.
I believe Victoria is doing the exact same thing here. Catherine with 45 kilos.
Looking to make this an easy opener herself. And that was even easier than the previous one. Good job. Congratulations, Catherine.
Jess Rogers up next with 47.5 kilos. She's smiling already. I think she's going to be very happy after this bench.
She's having a good time.
Having a good time. Kieran, barbell division referee, big yogurt himself, Master Uguay, and any other nickname, giving a nice pep talk.
Is he a technical coordinator who can control? Yes.
He is TC.
And the bar is loaded for her. 47 kilos as an opener. Let's see that.
Even more AG in the Vans. Would you say Vans over Converse for lifting?
I've never worn too much of either.
No, me neither.
I've got flat feet, so they don't help.
Yeah.
TMI.
Thanks. Oh wow, super easy.
one.
We might see 60 kilos from Jess.
Correct. That's a nice bar.
That'd be amazing.
She pushed all the way back towards her head. Good stuff. Because what you see from a lot of lifters is that initially they will press and they will let the bar travel towards their legs, and that's going to make it even harder for the shoulders, especially off the chest. That's not what she did.
Absolutely. I've been told off for doing that very recently, actually.
You got a good bench. You shouldn't matter.
That's fine. Sadie Blake, 50 kilos, gets the unrack, start command. Nice pause. Very, very smooth opener there.
And she's on the board as well. Would you expect smaller jumps on the bench than on the squat, perhaps?
Something I've found, and especially with female lifters, small jumps on bench are very, very common. Now, from my experience, as limited as it may be, I don't think I agree with that. But if it builds your total and you get those lifts, who am I to say against it?
Absolutely. We have Sophie Gay now with 60 kilos opening up. Quite the bench.
Opening on 60 is no small feat. Oh, it's a bit slow there, but that might just be how people bench.
A little bit of a fight, exactly. So we would expect to see a smaller jump from first to second from her end. We're just going to have to wait and see.
You are also pressing from a dead stop on the bench press, so off the chest is going to be a bit slow depending on the lifter.
Exactly, especially if your pause requires a couple of more of nanoseconds to stabilize, so the bar needs to stay a bit longer on your chest. That's going to make it harder for you to press it off your chest as well.
I am correct in saying the momentum has to be completely stopped to get the press command, don't I?
That is correct. The referees are waiting for the bar to be motionless on the chest. So Ava now, same weight again. And
Very,
that
very
moved
smooth.
very fast, yeah. Good work.
Very, very elegant dismount there. Wow.
Something that you and I we cannot do.
I used to be able to do it, but I got a little bit heavy.
Wow.
Let me wait till I'm 100 kilos again, and I'll be fine.
Okay. I'd really like to see that.
I used to do it. Don't worry, I'll show you. Okay. Anna now with 67.5 kilos. Very, very hyped up.
She's hyped up even on her opener. That is. She would request a lift off from Jack. Very experienced spotter right there.
Having a trusted handout is one of the best things a powerlifter can get at a competition.
Yes, absolutely. Good stuff.
Super easy opener there. And the sabers as well, with all this talk of advances. People seem to get the saber do really good high tops.
Do you know what's a good strategy with having a good handout?
Please do tell.
Make it yourself. So you can have the option to unrack the bar yourself, which on most cases it's something that is consistent, it's something that you do yourself, so you don't have to rely on spotters and their perception on the day, or they make this time and time again, so they might be a bit better or worse on some occasions. So if you end up taking the bar, unracking the bar yourself, you have to worry about one less thing. Manpreet now with 72.5. That is quite the bench, especially for an opener. Relatively close grip.
Wow.
And that
Very, very nice opener there. Self-unracking myself. I can't really get behind a spotter to help me hand out the bar, because I like to be in control of the bar at all times, from the unrack to the re-rack. I think it just makes me feel a little bit more secure and confident in my lifts.
Exactly. It takes a bit more practice to get it going, but once you manage it, as we already discussed, it takes away the danger of having a spotter that doesn't know how you want the bar to be unracked.
Got Rebecca now, 87.5.
That is mad.
That is an amazing opener. Nice. Hand out there, sets herself. Very nice press command there.
That was
Gets
a
a
fast-
super easy opener.
That was fast. Good
Very,
job,
very
Rebecca.
fast indeed. Got Shawnee now, our equipped female.
Let's see, is she gonna lift equipped on bench?
She
Yes.
is, I believe.
Look
I
at
see
that.
her with the bench shirt,
Right,
looking
so
very ready.
as we previously discussed on squats, now when it comes to the bench, on equipped lifting, you wear a specific suit that aids you and supports you on your way down. It stores elastic energy, kind of like a spring, kind of like a slingshot if you've tried this in the past, and it really pushes you up from the chest. But the more you lock the movement, the more you extend your elbows, the less the suit helps you. So you might see the bar flying off your chest, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy on the lockout.
However, in this case, it does. That was a very easy opener.
That was great. That was
Shawnee
actually
there.
great. Good stuff.
It does mean on the more top end of equipped benches, it ends up being a lot of a row movement as well, as these heavy suits
Yes, very
must
tight.
pull the bar down into you.
You need to engage your lats. Yeah. Coming up, Jess Randall with a mad 100-kilo opener. What is going on? Apparently, that's her second competition ever.
I'm very excited to see what she can become.
I am.
Even for the rest of this competition, it could be incredible.
Does Hannah have another say now? Finally,
I feel like she might.
it's like the meme. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
I love Tyler Young.
Gets the start command.
Nice control down to the chest. Good press. Oh!
Oh no!
Unfortunately, does not get that opener. Now, I wonder what this could be based on, if it is strength, tech, or just a misgroove.
I wouldn't know. The problem now is kind of like Salman. She's with her back against the wall because she needs to make the bench in order to claim best second or third female lifter overall. She has the potential, but she needs to make the bench. And with the benches, she can't go down on her attempts. She can't load less than 100. And it didn't look like it was a technical issue like Salman's.
Oh yeah, I was going to say it looked quite strength-based.
Let's have a look at Victoria now. It's 45
kilos. Very close grip. Very OG, very Chad. I like it.
Sticks with it.
Super
Doesn't
easy.
jump the star.
Come on, we could have done a bigger jump there, Victoria.
Or the press command, or the rack command even. Good job. Matured as a lifter. And Sadie now, see, with 52, a 2.5 kilo jump.
We're just going to double check some info real quick. Oh, fights a little sticking point there, but gets the rack command.
And a good lift. Good stuff from Sadie. She has, I believe, a little bit more in the tank. And we'll be back. She'll be back to show us her third attempt.
Catherine, 52 kilos.
It's quite the jump. 7.5 kilos from her opener, which moved really good. So
This is what I'm a fan of. I love big jumps. I love bold moves in powerlifting. I think it's most exciting to watch.
expect to see a fight in here now. Doesn't rack herself. Long range of motion, but she sticks with it. Good stuff.
We might see a very nice deadlift from Catherine with those long arms.
Same weight on the bar for Jess Rogers. And as you said, this load right now is going to show us whether 60 kilos will be loaded or not on her third attempt.
From the looks of the jump, I don't think she's pacing for 60 kilos. Maybe her top end is, fizzles up quite quickly as we explained before.
We do want her to hit it though, so
I would love it.
let's see it.
It's a very smooth lift there. I'd say that's an RP5, but I'm a chronic overshooter, so...
See, that's the thing. Bench tends to move until it doesn't.
Yes.
And especially on these loads, 2.5 kilos may make or break you.
Oh, 100%.
I think she's got more, but how much more? We'll see soon enough. She's got an experienced handler on her side, so
She does. Seasoned. Coached by none other than Daniel J.
shout out to Daniel.
Jess has loaded 55 for her next, so not pacing for 60, but I think we'll see a very easy 55.
Correct.
But we're currently seeing 65 for
Sophie
Sophie Gay.
65.
Very soft touch there.
Bit of a fight there.
Unfortunately
Unlucky.
not there.
Let's see the replay. I think it might have moved towards her legs a little bit, which made it harder on her shoulders. See, that's what Jess did well. She pushed the bar towards her eyes, which made the bar path more energetically effective.
And if you're fast off the chest, something I've found is if you push towards your legs, you can adjust for it, and it is more forgiving if you push towards your legs because you have time for that adjustment. But
That is correct.
again, if you're slow off the chest, you really have to lock in, as some would say, and get that technique down from the start.
Ava now with 65 kilos again on the bar. And she makes that good work. Nice second attempt.
Graceful dismount again.
Dismount of the guards.
She's smiling, she's happy.
She's having a good time. Let's see what she loads up for third. Now,
Anna.
75 kilos with Anna. She's already
Wow.
bringing out the smelling salts for the bench, mind you.
Sam Whale peering from behind her. I think he's the same height.
I think he's smelling the salts as well. Like he's taking a lot of them on his head, on his face.
You've got to be as hyped as your lifter on the day, I believe.
I don't think
Really get that energy brewing.
Do you think he can match it? I don't think anyone can match that.
No one could match it. One thing, I could never scream before my lifts.
You did scream after your list, though.
100%. In the warm-up room, throwing my belt 30 feet.
Let's see Anna now with 75 kilos. That's what she came here for. Let's go.
Start command.
Yes,
Very
next
happy.
one.
Screams on the way up.
Screams on the way up,
What
which
do the referees
is
say?
generally not
They
advised,
say 3
but
white lights.
what do you care, man? You make the lift,
Very
stomps the
happy.
ground. It is her backyard, essentially. For any competition, for any venue damages, invoice Anna Riviere. She's probably done half of them already. 77.5 kilos for Manpreet Kaur.
We have Manpreet now with 77.5 kilos. Very
work.
quick off the chest, has a small sticking point in the middle, but locks it out. Strong tricep
And
there.
that's really typical of closer grip benches, aren't they? So, for one reason or another, which we're not going to get into now, they tend to move faster off the chest, but they will struggle either midway or towards the lockout. But
I believe that's due to your chest as being in a stronger position on the push command.
however, we've got Rebecca Mars now taking the South Mids 84 bench record for a ride. Let me check records real quick.
The record is currently set by Zoe Clark. Oh no,
No, she's
sorry,
taking
set
the
by
open one.
Megan Batchelor, 90
The
kilos.
90 kilos,
set.
so
This record has stood for 8 years.
Christ, that's an eternity in powerlifting, isn't it?
That is a very, very long time. I couldn't tell you anything in powerlifting that was happening in 2016.
Hack versus Gibbs versus Howard.
Wow.
Well, Hubbard. Killeen, Texas. That's the one thing I hate. But
I think that shows my lack of experience in powerlifting.
that shows your age, if anything. However,
Yeah.
all stand for Rebecca Mars now,
All stand,
which is
2016.
gonna challenge that record.
I was 12 in 2016. Playing Saints Row, having the best time of my life. Didn't know what powerlifting was.
Let's see how this goes now.
She's got a very effective arch there. Such
Great
an
one.
easy second attempt there. Wow.
Jesus.
I think she's aiming for a lot more than that record today.
Oh, absolutely.
If I was her, I could load another 7.5 easily.
And the good thing is she can chip the record now. She can load whatever she wants, so she doesn't have to go with the 2.5 kilo
Exactly.
increments. Whatever she wants to take, it's there. And if she's in contention for overall lifter, first, second, third, she can use that chip to better equip her position. Moving on now, we've got a bit of a
Important
thriller
bench
on our
here.
hands with Jessica. I believe she's done this load before. She's made 100 kilos before, but
Let's see what it does for her today. Taking more time with her bench setup. Really making sure she's in the correct position.
exactly, she knows what's at stake right now.
Pushes up. There
And
we go. She
pushes
gets it.
through. She's on the board.
I think breathes a sigh of relief.
Sign-
It's
exactly.
very, very effective there.
Hannah, they're clapping. Great athlete sportsmanship. Fair
Absolutely.
play.
What do we have now? We have Shawnee with 105 kilos.
Oh wow.
A lovely
10
quick
kilo
bench here.
increase, and that's where the suit is really going to come into play. Let's see. 95 was really easy. I am confident in this one as well.
I think it'll be a lovely, lovely bench.
Bench queen herself, Ellie still supporting her on the side. I just heard her. Jack staying close.
Oh, unfortunately, you see how important positioning is there, where it slightly miscues and forces the bar into an unfortunate position where it lands back on her chest.
Exactly. Do you think she will come back and give it another shot?
100%. With equipped lifting, it's very, very much, you have centimeters of, that golden ratio between hitting a good lift and just missing it.
Absolutely.
Because not only does your own body put you out of position there, you have equipment that's forcing it in the wrong way as well.
Moving on to the third round of benches. 50 kilos, a 5 kilo jump for Victoria. If our guess is correct, she should make good work of this. Might be a bit of a struggle, but I'm confident in it. Bulgarian power. Давай, Victoria.
50 kilos.
And won't
Not
you
a
look at
struggle
that?
at all. I feel like Victoria doesn't know her own strength.
6 out of 6. Not long ago, she had been 5 out of 9 or something.
Five out of 9.
And look at that maturity now.
I feel like, speaking from experience, one of the most relieving feelings is going from a 5 for 9 lifter to a 8 for 9 or 9 for 9 lifter.
I was going to say it is a nice feeling, isn't it? Knowing you've hit all of your attempts.
Just knowing you've gotten the most out of your performance on the day, I think.
Sadie Blake now, coached and handled by Nash Hunter, familiar face in South Midlands.
GB Masters equipped lifter.
Correct. Oh, just a bit too
unfortunately
much.
there.
Good catch by spotters.
And you can see how much of a difference 2.5 kilos can make there.
Exactly. Let's have a look at the replay. Ah, yes.
I think it just fell forwards in the wrist. And once that happens, you're so out of position. You're just pushing from a such disadvantaged point.
You called it. Chess is moving on to 55, so a 2.5 kilo increase. Safe bar, looking to make the most out of it, looking to go 6 for 6. That's what we want her to do.
I'd love to say that was my philosophy skills, but I just read it as it came up. Yes. I believe she'll get this. We might see how big of a difference 2.5 kilos can make again, but
That is correct.
in Jess's case, I've seen her train. I think she's more than capable for this. So let's have a look. Puts it back up.
Good fight by Jess.
Wow.
Sticks with it.
Fights it.
All the way through. What did the referee say?
Referees say
2 to 1 is a good lift.
Wow, really saw
Good
her
job.
waver with that. She's very, very happy with that. Wow, I've never seen a bar go back and forth like that.
Oh,
That
lovely
was
one.
incredible.
And bench by itself is not that. It's not that much of a spectacle, but when you get benches like this, it gets the crowd going.
Exactly.
It gets us going.
I think bench is never much of a spectacle. Sorry, because there's less margin of error. It's a more forgiving lift than the deadlift or the squat.
True.
Unless it's equipped bench, indeed.
True,
as
true.
as we have found out.
Catherine Dancy now. Coop Army. Let's go, Catherine. 7.5 kilos increase.
She's up.
Oh, she did let the bar
bad.
travel towards what we were talking about, towards her lower body. I believe we're going to see the replay.
And that is a harsh thing on bench.
Yes.
You have to get the elbow position right. Make sure those elbows are adequately tucked, just to make sure your initial push is going in the right direction.
So what happens for the one person that's interested in it? Pushing the bar towards your eyes reduces the lever arm for your shoulders, so makes the torque less for the shoulders and more for the chest, for the pecs, which are bigger muscles. So unless you're one of those people who have big shoulders and like tiny pecs, you don't want to do that. That's why people push the bar backwards. But so
65 for Sophie, reattempting. Oh,
Look
there
at
was
that.
no issue there. Wow.
comes back, smokes it, happy,
I feel like that's a good redemption story.
waves at the refs.
Hey.
Absolutely great times.
Ava Reynolds now, 67.5.
And the bar is loaded for Ava. Let's see that bench dismount one more time.
You know, it reminds me of Angelo Fortino.
Yes, true.
Before he hurt his back, so he can't do it anymore. But
Oh man. Do you think he will ever do it again?
I hope so. It's almost become a myth.
Same.
I wish I had arches like some of these girls. It would
Great
make my bench
arcs.
so much more better. Just reducing that range of motion. Perfect. Oh,
She sticks with. Oh
no! Unfortunately, didn't have a fight in her today. Definitely, I feel like had it, but maybe she's saving herself.
Yes, I believe if she was given a fourth attempt, I know that's not a thing, but see with the replay, if she was given a fourth attempt, I'm pretty sure she would have made it.
Absolutely.
Who's Sam waving to? He was waving to the camera.
Oh, Anna storming on.
Because the beast incarnate, Anna Riviere, is coming out for a 77.5 kilo, which I do believe it's a PB.
As he quickly looks up on open IPF, Anna's forcing herself into that position. And the good thing about the new Elika rack is it's very, very grippy.
Yes.
You can really, really get yourself into a lovely position. Gets the press command. Pushes, fights
Drives
through
it a little bit too much
not
of the
there.
day. However,
I'd be happy. You've
the
extracted the most you can out of your bench.
Exactly, and the 75 kilo was a PB. Her last bench was 70 kilos back in January. So within not that much of a time frame, she really has improved her bench.
I'd be very proud of myself.
Same, brother. Same. I'd be very proud of you and me.
Thank you.
Moving on to Manpreet Kaur.
80 kilos, was that right?
Yes, is correct.
Wow.
I do believe it's within her limits, and she will be able to make good work out of this. Struggle, but good work. Because keep in mind, she's benching relatively narrow, so she will have to fight on her way out.
I believe this is pinkies on the ring, is what I can find from my position.
Sticks
It
with
wasn't
it.
really that much of a struggle. I think 2.5 kilos could have been there.
Lovely
She's
bench.
very happy.
Celebrates it.
Small fist pump as she walks off the platform.
Always calm and collected.
Cool, calm and collected. Rebecca Marsh now. At 95 kilos. Wow.
She's looking to make that bench record unapproachable by anyone else in her weight class. Let's see if she succeeds in this. 90.5 moved well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a good lift, if she makes this. She will have to dig deep though.
Gets the start command. I don't think she had to dig deep. I just think she had to dig a few inches deeper than she did last time. There was a lot more there.
I'm not sure. This looked easier than, in my eyes, it might have been as easy or if not easier than the 90.5.
Sometimes you don't know how much strength you have on the day if you go into uncharted territory.
You have to be delusional, as you said before.
Yes. I'm a big believer of being a little bit crazy to get your goals, but some call that psychoticism. I call it being dedicated.
I call it being first in the 105s. That's how I call it.
Jess Randall now, 105 kilos.
A massive 105 bench.
Looking for
Good
just a
Lord.
5 kilo increase on that 100.
Let's see
Try
if
and
this
secure a few more kilos.
Let's see if this pays off or if 102 would have been a better choice. Let's see. She's never hit this weight before. She lost it last comp.
Not getting off
Little bit
her
too
chest,
much.
I'm afraid.
But I do think 100 was a top-end strength.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, that's where attempt selection comes into play. So if she was to open up with around 90 kilos, maybe she would have saved some strength for the
Exactly. It's all about pacing, I think.
for the third one.
Making sure you have the most energy for where it matters most, which is on your third attempts.
Exactly.
105
Speaking of
kilo
thirds,
retake.
Shawnee to finish off this flight. 105 bench. Let's see if she comes back and smokes this.
Nice descent to her chest. Hops
That
off
looked
and locks out.
a lot better.
And there you can see how important it is to have your bar path and your positioning right for bench.
Exactly.
when
Even
moving
more
on.
so in equipped lifting, you'd
Yes,
say.
absolutely. Equipped. I'm supposed to add that. 37.5 kilos. Now for Millie Thomas Wilcox. Followed by Finn Slater. Followed by James Wheeler.
Let's see if the male sub-juniors perform as well as they did on squats.
I believe we might see some sizable benches here.
That is absolutely correct. And the bar is loaded for Millie. Looking to get yourself on the board now.
One thing we learned from these sub-juniors is that they like to open light. So maybe we'll see the same trend on bench here.
True, true. Good work and a good lift, I reckon. Oh,
No.
there is no card on here, so I'm not sure if she skipped the recommend.
I believe it is blue lights.
One of them is blue, yeah. So blue indicates downward movement or soft elbows, but the other one was just a no lift.
I would assume it'd be for soft elbows then if it's on both sides.
Body's loaded for Finn, 75 kilos.
Now, Nick, can you explain why some lifters would wear heels for their bench press?
So
Yeah, easy opener there.
easy
Finn.
opener there. So what you see happening with bench is certain individuals tend to lift the bum off the bench sometimes when pressing if they utilize leg drive in the wrong way or if their position is off by a little bit. So one way you fix this is if you're squatting in flats, you turn to heels or the opposite. But I've also found that different leg proportions, so people with either quite short legs or people with fairly long legs on the extreme, they might benefit from switching on one or the other. I've seen, if I'm not mistaken, people with shorter femurs and shorter legs overall switching to flat heels, to flat shoes. What about you?
Well, first of all, that was James Wheeler with 80 kilos, making a lot of air. I'm a flats man. I used to have poor shin and ankle mobility. But in short, I got over it. And never really tried heels on bench, as I'm just sort of scared that it would put my feet in the wrong position to generate the maximum force that it could do when generating some leg drive. So I'll stick to my flats. I've got a decent leg drive sorted from them. So
You're flats and you never look back. So you're
I had a stint in heels for squats. Easy 80 there for Georgie.
You're really looking to make good work at the bench, get some redemption for the squat, and 80 kilos is, if anything, is indicative that his bench will go well.
No, we're seeing a lot of lifters open with double figures in this flight, but I feel like there's going to be less than a handful of them ending with double figures.
Correct. Based on how they're moving.
Absolutely.
Dan Mason now,
90
he's
kilos.
he's one of the few people I've seen opening more on his bench than this squat.
Do you think he'll take a 40 kilo jump as well?
If this flies, oh my god, that's going to be so exciting.
And it does.
Oh,
There was a little bit of head movement there. I just want to see if the refs.
oh, the
think
love
it
of God,
was
that
okay,
was
and it was.
impressive.
We might see a 40 kilo jump.
I want to see this, and I don't want to see this at the same time.
I would be certainly intrigued. I don't think he has. I think he's gone for a standard jump.
Yes.
Edward, 95 kilos.
Let's go, Ed. As we said, Ed's doing the All Englands in 4 weeks, and he's handled by Jake today, who competed yesterday. So it's like he told me in the break that this is more of a tune-up comp, and he's not looking to extend himself too much. Let's see how this bench moves. Yep, easy stuff. Long arm, so you know this bar is going to travel a long distance. It's not going to move extremely fast, but it did move good. Well, coming up,
95 kilos for Ethan, who unfortunately missed depth on his second squat. But
he came back.
He gambled, he came back,
and the gamble paid off.
and I think he's going to secure more kilos here.
Nice, that's correct.
No, orange A7 singlet, you don't see that often.
What do you think of that?
I think it was good. I'm not sure on the heels, but the refs seem to think it's okay, so I'm not going to distrust them. You can't really see on our replay.
Correct. There's the spotters and Jack's magnificent hamstrings on the camera.
Hamstrings, yes. 97.5 now for
Salman
Salman.
Khan now, he needs to make this. He needs to make at least one bench, as we said, in order to give his own deadlift record a run.
You could argue a lot is on the line here for Salman.
Let's see if he's going to give us a heart attack like in the squats, or if it's going to be smooth sailing.
Sometimes people, they thrive off it. Just like how I used to. Well, he certainly gets elbow depth.
Great stuff. He also set up fairly back on the rack. If you can see, some of his head was hanging out, which is indicative of a self and rack. Yes. You want to be as close to the J hooks as possible.
That is an issue I ran into recently. I was becoming too close to the J hooks. So there's sort of a balance, as there is with a lot of things. But
so what can happen is, if you set up too far back, it makes the unrack easier, but then you run into the risk of hitting the pins, hitting the stands as you go up. Whereas the opposite would make the unrack really hard and tax your shoulders. Great
that's
stuff.
110. Children. Very easy. All these owners
so far so good,
moving as they should, I believe. Obviously, aside from Millie's,
which has gone up, so it is indicative that she knows she's got the strength for this, and we'll have to see this.
These small gambles of 2.5 kilos are very useful to establish whether a lifter's capable of doing more or not.
So are you a fan of taking a jump but not as big if you know you can make a heavier load and you lost the previous load on technical things?
Absolutely. So if I get called on, I believe it's commands or, perhaps depth, I'm more than happy to make a small increase to the attempt just to make sure I can get a little bit more, scrape as many kilos as possible. Wow.
Liam makes this
easy
fly. And apparently it's Liam's first comp as well, so
really?
lots of entry-level powerlifters which we're going to develop into really strong individuals by the time they hit the juniors or the open even.
Liam could very well claim Rookie of the Meet, which is a award I've just made up. $40 kilos now for Millie Thomas Wilcox. Very drippy in the Jordan 1 lows.
Oh right, yes, you're right on that. I just noticed it.
Fashion and function.
Fights it. Oh no. She will have another crack at it.
There, she will have another attempt.
On the third round.
Let's hope she gets it.
That is correct.
Okay. Nick is just been called away for the moment, so 85 kilos now for Finn. His bar is loaded, looking very determined and confident. Opting for a max grip approach here, which decreases ROM, you get a little less power, but if your decreased range of motion does make up for that, it's more than beneficial. And he makes it look easy as a second attempt there. There was a small struggle off the chest, gets 3 wide lights of course, but after that initial struggle, sticking point, it gets easy for him. We've got 85 again for James Wheeler. Unbelievable this guy is an under 59 doing these weights. Should he decide to stay 59 as he grows into the sport, he's going to be a very threatening force to a lot of guys. Nice and smooth unrack there. Oh, very easy, but might have skipped the press command. It was very touch and go there. But he gets 2 white lights. So it's a good lift. We'll see how he fares for his third, which could have a lot more loaded. Bar is loaded for Georgie. 90 kilos. Sets himself nicely, gets the arm rack. Nice control to the way to the chest and an easy upright. Again, these sub-juniors don't know how strong they are. Some of these attempts are looking extremely easy. You've got our first triple figure bench of the flight with Edward. Nice set. I love to use the cue of driving the back of the neck into the pad just to make sure you're in a really nice position to press that bar upwards. And that's a lovely second attempt there. He's got some room to spare. I think with bench as well, you can always push more if you want to warm up or use this as a toning comp, because they're just muscles that require more frequency and they recover a lot quicker than, say, your legs or your back will for squats and deadlifts. 100 kilos again for Ethan. Ethan is holding on to the uprights of the rack here to make sure he enables himself to get into a very nice position. Oh, I think he missed the start command there. He gets it up, but would it be worth it? Unfortunately not. I think he forgot the start command. Look of confusion showing, yeah. That is very unfortunate there. He's got another attempt. I think he's just going to go for a 2.5 increase. Dan Mason now with 100 kilos. Looking very casual. Gets a press command. I think his head might have risen off the bench there, but it's hard to tell. But it is three red lights, so he's been called.
You were right on that.
And please wait for the start command. And every other lifter also please wait for the start command. Your head referee is getting upset.
So we now have Salman Khan looking to extend his top bench at 105, so a 7.5 kilo increase.
Looking very focused in the holding room there. Steps out.
That's a 2.5 kilos off his personal best. Let's see if he sticks with it. Gets a start command.
I don't think his heels are touching the floor. Unfortunately, strength might not be there today, so yeah.
He will have another chance at it.
He will have another chance. I think he's got to focus on his setup a little bit more if he wants to get it out.
That might be true, actually. Either way, he's got one more shot, and we're moving on to Jordan second at
115
kilos. He seems to be having a good day overall. He's been 3 or 3 on squats, and he's looking to go 2 for 2 on bench.
Nice and smooth hand out there. Oh, big sticking point there. Oh, unfortunately, just isn't there today. The minorest of things, but it does look strength related to me.
A bit too much, and again, different individuals have different sticking points, sticking regions. He will have another shot, however,
Exactly.
pushing for a load that much and having an isometric contraction for that many seconds might take away a lot of air out of you.
Yes.
We hope he comes back and make it, but for the time being.
Now, Liam Peck on a mission to make 125 move as fast as possible.
That man, yes.
If it moves quickly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 15 kilo increase to 140. But
He's having a good day.
He's having a great day.
He's quite calm considering it's his first comp, and he's a sub-junior as well.
I was absolutely terrified for my first comp. Yep,
Look at that.
moved faster than some of my openers.
Do you reckon 132.5?
I'd load something like that, maybe even 135 if I could. We're going on to thirds now. Millie Thomas Wilcox is fighting with her back up against the wall here. 40 kilos for a third attempt, and
She needs this
She
one
needs
to
this.
stay in the game. Put up a total.
some of a powerlifter's least favourite words is they need this. But unfortunately for Millie, this applies. Everything has to go right here for Millie.
Let's go, Millie.
A lot of the crowd
We got
is
you.
going up.
Almost
no.
there, but not quite.
Unfortunately for Millie, that does mean she is bombed out of the competition with 3 red lights.
So what happens is, if you don't submit a single good lift on one or more of squat, bench or deadlift disciplines, you do not get to register a total, and you are essentially disqualified from competition. But you know, I'd rather this happen to someone, myself including, on a local level comp where the stakes are relatively low. And based on open powerlifting data, she hasn't had any other competition unless we weren't able to find anything. So I'd rather have this in a low stakes competition rather than a national stage, or let alone an international.
We're moving on now to Finn Slater, 90 kilos, followed by James Wheeler on the same weight.
Vertical jump. Let's see how he makes this.
Gets the unrack. He's a little bit shaky up there, but I think he's just trying to find his set. Gets it up.
Oh wow!
There was a fight there. I'm unsure of what the refs will say.
It might be a bit of a heaving from his chest.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was worried about like maybe downward motion for sinking, but I think that's what the refs agreed.
Yes.
Not there, unfortunately. He's clearly strong enough for it, but sometimes the best thing a lifter can do is build their technique and get stronger.
And it's something that gets better with repeatability. So
Absolutely.
the better you make each rep lift and training, the more the chances are you're not going to make this on comp. Moving on, James Wheeler, the prodigy, requesting a handout from the man himself. Gets the bar out, gets the star command, pushes it, grinds out.
Not there.
Bit too much.
Bit too much on the day.
Maybe 87 was there, but still it might be.
I think
might have been a
so.
bit too much.
I
So,
think this pause command was a lot longer than the one he got last time as well, so that definitely plays a part. Ethan now reattempting his 100.
Ethan Lim taking 100 again. As we said, he would have another shot, and this is his chance now to make it count.
Gets it down. Gets it back up, I believe.
And that is
It's
a
kind of
good
obstructed there.
fight.
What do the refs say? They say
Oh,
2-1 no
no.
lift on the basis of he missed the
Mr.
rack command.
Rackman, which is
We've all
as we
been
said,
there.
It's a technicality. He missed it by a couple of split seconds.
And this
As we
could
can see
just
from
be
the live
through
stream.
excitement of making the lift.
Potentially.
Unfortunately, like, it is a rule.
But it's one of those things that we say time and time again. You need to You need to mature as a lifter
Yes.
and make sure your strength is not bottlenecked by such technicalities. He's young. He will improve.
They're mistakes
time.
you only make once. Let's say that.
Yes. Well, unless you're Jesus Olivares and you make this on the Sheffield stage.
Thank you to SBD for sponsoring us.
Where are you now? Looking to make 3 for 3 on bench.
Good
That's
fight.
a
I
fight
think he's
on
got
bench.
it.
Oh no! Barely.
Couldn't make it
I
through that
was-
sticking point.
As he was coming out of the sticking point. Good fight from Yori though. You know, at least you get to go out on your shield.
Yes, 100%. I think
You give it
like
all.
this.
You know you didn't leave any effort, any stone unturned. Ed now looking to make this 105 bench.
I believe it's 102.
Oh, 102.5. Sorry, I've been really bad at this. Which is a 2.5 kilo PB if he makes this, I believe.
And I think he will. It looks easy.
Come on, Ed.
Fought
Look
through
it
that
out.
sticking point. Wow.
Like we said, it is a tune-up comp, but if a PB is there, you will take it.
Absolutely.
You will send a message to your opposition.
I said before, with bench as well, you can recover quickly from it more so than squats and deadlifts. So
If it's there, why not take it?
exactly. Obviously, this isn't saying go and max out completely, but if you go a little bit too heavy, it's okay.
Dan
102
Mason.
now for Dan Mason. A 2.5 increase after missing his 100. Gets it up.
And he
What
tries
do the
it.
referees say? Looks good to me, and it looks
is a
good
good
to the
lift.
referees. They're very happy.
He cracks a tiny smile,
I would too.
and that's gonna propel him for the deadlifts. Salman Khan now looking to make the 105. Looking to add 7.5 more kilos to his total and finish on a good note on bench. Get redemption for the second attempt. Let's see. Pushes it up.
Pushes. Oh,
He
elbows
did put
were
up
shaking
he
quite
did put
bit
up a
there.
fight. I'll give him that.
Last year. Joven now not coming out for his last bench.
So they will wait out the 1 minute in order to give
Liam's loaded 135.
more time to recover, more time to get ready. He needs all the time he can get. This is a massive weight for a sub junior, waiting at a low 86.9. My guy just woke up, had a breakfast, and he was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Let's do it.
Something I aspire to being. At 86 kilo body weight as well. 86.9.
Looking to get some mad geo points, if you ask me.
That is some crazy gel.
As mentioned, follows the podium with 135 winners and final bench press of this weekend's championships. So thank you so much for playing. I hope you enjoyed your 1 minute break. We will now load you the final bench of the weekend, 135 kilograms. Let's go through.
So the sporters will leave the bar unloaded. They will not load it beforehand for the next attempt, only to give the lifter an extra time that is required when you're changing the plates, because that's what you would normally do on a normal attempt where a competitor would come out. So he gets 1 minute and anything in between to change the plates. And Liam's out now, looking to end the flight and end the benching session on a good note. Go for 6 for 6, 10 kilo increase, we believe it's there.
I think it's there. This guy has shown so much power through his bench.
I feel he will have to
One of
work
the
for
rare
it though.
lifters that wears a belt for their bench.
That is true. Yes, I just noticed it myself, you're right.
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't noticed that before. Something I've played around with, but I haven't reached a conclusion yet on if I enjoy it or not.
Let's see if he's enjoying it.
And I think he makes a pretty solid case for it.
Liam,
He's happy with
what's
that.
going on,
That
man?
is crazy. I told you he had 140. He's
What the fuck?
We're gonna enter a small 10-minute break. I apologise for Nick's language there.
That wasn't me. That was I am Hannah Clayton, and I swore on live stream. That's why I am.
We're gonna enter a small break, 10 minutes I believe, until deadlifts.
And we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Bobby Butters. Welcome to the SPD manufacturing facility. Hi, I'm Bobby Butters. Welcome to the SPD manufacturing facility. We are here today to take a look through the range of knee sleeves that are made right here in Sheffield. There are 3 different types of knee sleeves available, and while they may look similar, each type offers different levels of flexibility and compression, making each knee sleeve ideal for different types of training. The one thing that unifies every version of the SPD knee sleeve is the spiral design that allows the sleeve to be constructed from a single panel of neoprene with a single seam. The single panel design avoids the need for multiple seams in the neoprene, which can create discomfort. The spiral seam reduces the ride in the knee sleeve with flexion and spreads the stress on the seam, reducing the risk of the seam failing as the forces on the seam do not act perpendicular to it. Let's take a look at each type so you can decide which will work best for your training. For each one, we will look at the materials that make each sleeve unique, the level of compression each one offers, and the types of training each knee sleeve is designed for. We will start with the weightlifting knee sleeve. These sleeves are made from 5mm neoprene and have a 4-way stretch fabric, allowing for light to medium compression and support throughout a greater range of motion. They come with an abrasion-resistant exterior lining and an antimicrobial inner lining to maximise the longevity of the sleeve. As the name suggests, the primary use of these knee sleeves are the weightlifting movements, the snatch and the clean and jerk. They are also ideal for dynamic movements that require a greater range of motion than the powerlifting squat, making them a greater choice for explosive high-intensity training. The weightlifting knee sleeves are both IWF and IPF compliant and can be purchased from sizes 3 extra small to 5 extra large. Moving to the next level, the 7mm knee sleeve. These are the original knee sleeves created by SPD that have been supporting athletes across the world for over a decade. Made from the same high-grade neoprene as the weightlifting knee sleeve, but at a 7mm in thickness. This sleeve gives you more support than the weightlifting knee sleeve, while also meeting the maximum allowed thickness as specified by the International Powerlifting Federation. This is the most versatile sleeve in the set, offering high levels of compression and support across a range of lifts, built to withstand regular powerlifting training, but also flexible enough for leg press, lunges, and other types of movements that require a greater range of movement than the squat, meaning you can wear them throughout the whole of your lower body training sessions. The 7mm sleeve also includes an antimicrobial inner lining and reinforced seam construction to keep your sleeves in great condition all the way from the gym to the lifting platform. They're also available in sizes 3 extra small to 5 extra large. Next up, we've got the powerlifting knee sleeves. Now these are designed for competitive powerlifters looking for the maximum support from their knee sleeves. They are made from SPD's specially designed high density neoprene that offers maximum compression and surface contact area throughout the knee flexion, giving you the highest level of support of any of the SPD knee sleeves. They also meet the IPF's maximum allowable length of 30 centimeters, giving you total coverage throughout your training. The included abrasion resistant outer and heavyweight edge braid materials make these the most robust sleeves in the lineup. They've been built to last through the heaviest squat attempts. The longevity and performance benefits of the powerlifting knee sleeves have been proven over and over again, with multiple squat records being set at the highest level of IPF and EPF championships. As with all of the SPD knee sleeves, these also feature the antimicrobial lining, which will minimise the buildup of bacteria, and are available in sizes 3 extra small to 5 extra large. You may be tempted to use the powerlifting knee sleeve for all of your training, as they offer the most amount of support. Myself personally, I use the powerlifting knee sleeve for my main squat days and for my main squat attempts. However, for a lot of my other training, I use the 7mm. This allows a lot more flexibility for those higher repetition sets and for accessory movements such as high bar back squat comparative to low bar back squat. All of the SPD knee sleeves we have discussed today are fully manufactured in Great Britain from pure neoprene and are IPF and IWF compliant. They are all individually quality control checked by the team of highly trained staff and come with a 1-year warranty as standard. If you want to learn more about how to measure your knee sleeves, check out the product page on the SPD website or in the description below. If you have any questions about any of the SPD products from this video, you can contact your local retailer or SPD customer services. Thanks for joining me at SPD HQ. If you are interested in any of the sleeves that we went over in this video, head over to your local retailer's website today to find out more.
And we're back
Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome.
with the last of the 3 disciplines in powerlifting, the deadlift. First flight, again, day 2, session 2 of the South Midlands Open.
Anna, 75 kilo opener. I wonder
If she's nursing
is
an
this
injury,
confirmed she has a back injury.
Okay.
Able to
that's-
extract something pretty good out of bench and squat, so I'd be happy with her performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In context, I believe she did very well on bench and squat, and that's just to solidify those numbers so they can be. I guess they would still count as PRs,
They
but
still count.
she now has a total. Congratulations, Anna. Imagine she goes up and I don't know, loads something crazy on the second attempt. It's like, yeah, you know what?
140 now.
You know what? Back feels fine.
Get trolled.
Sophie Gay now with 105 kilos.
105 for Sophie Gay.
She's done quite well. She came back and smoked her third bench while missing it on the second one. Bit of a struggle there,
Yeah.
but makes it a good lift. And we'll see what she loads come second attempt.
Always more interesting to find out. Okay,
Victoria Nikolova now with 110,
110.
looking to extend. Oh wow!
Looking very capable of a lot more than 110.
I was gonna say looking to extend her good run with attempt selection and good lifts, and that's what she did. Jess Rogers with the same weight.
Jess Rogers, 110. It's going to be followed by Ava. It's looking very casual for an opener. I think this is going to be quite easy for her.
Yes. A lot of them might make bigger jumps from first to second. Yeah.
No struggles there.
Ava Reynolds now, a bit of a jump from the previous attempts, so 122.5. Looking to register the total.
I believe Anna did just put in a token deadlift, so I don't think we'll be seeing her again.
That is correct. We wish her a speedy recovery so she can put together
Absolutely, you might see
a
a
formidable total.
formidable total indeed. Great word.
Thank you. My parents paid for private English classes, like most parents do in Greece, so they come and play.
Wow. I didn't even have to pay for those.
How did you learn English then?
I just born with it. So I have a natural gift for learning languages.
Such talented.
Yeah.
English and bench, I'd say, is two biggest strengths.
Hey, I feel like we're leaving out an important factor. I've got one more strength, as I'm a great cook.
I was going to mention it, but I was like, maybe he's thinking about something else. Fair enough.
Come on, Nick.
Ava now. The bar is already loaded for her. The timer's running, but
She does
I'm
have 30 seconds.
I'm not sure whether she doesn't have the correct
She doesn't
socks.
have deadlift socks on, so she is rushing to put them on.
She right. So what happens with deadlifts is, in order to preserve the integrity of the bar and not have any blood on the steel end of the bar, on the shaft of the bar, the lifter has to wear lifting socks. Well, she did an effort to wear them.
She looks a bit shocked, but
The good thing with the deadlift though is the timer runs until you start lifting the bar. So
yes.
as soon as the lifter picks the bar off the floor, timer stops.
Let's hope her
And the
second attempt is going to be a little bit less chaotic.
And as soon as the lift, and if the lift is a good lift, it counts.
Sadie Blake following Ava with 125 kilos. We've got some heavy deadlifts. And we're looking to have a fierce rivalry between Jess Randall and Hannah Clayton coming up. Jess
I'm
with
really
the
looking forward to
advantage.
those third deadlifts, yes.
Me too.
Good work on the first one. She's also wearing a mouthpiece on the deadlift. What's your opinion, and why do people choose to wear one when lifting?
Having not worn one myself for lifting, but it's teeth protection, isn't it? It's when people grit down on their teeth, they don't want to grind against it and then, damage their chompers, for lack of a better phrase.
Exactly, and it also gives you something to bite against, so it can help you grind a rep exactly easier. Surely now, wearing no supportive equipment this time around, a few lifters
Easy deadlift, nonetheless.
They find it easier to make a deadlift without the suit because it restricts their movement and screws up their setup. Matthew Hallett of Satmids does the same, so it seems to be working for him, and it seems to be working for her as well.
You say Matthew Hallett does not wear a deadlift suit for his deadlifts?
Nope, he doesn't.
That is incredible.
I know, and he's doing that well even without a deadlift suit. What a man! Shout out to Matt. Manfred now with 140 kilos.
These are mega impressive openers.
Exactly.
Just 3 lifters left in the flight after Manfred.
Conventional, relatively closest grip. What's next? Beltless. Look at that. Easy work at it.
Wow. She doesn't look phased at all.
Nah. She knew she had it even before pulling it. Moving on, same weight for Rebecca Marsh.
Rebecca's having a blinder of a day.
Yes, she did claim the record, but in order for the record to count, she needs to make at least one of the deadlifts. So
yes. Let's not speak too soon, huh?
It definitely won't. And the record stands.
It does indeed.
Good job from Rebecca, congratulations. We move on with 165 kilos of Catherine Dancy, really showing up on those deadlifts. Definitely her numbers indicate a deadlift specialist. Good would be proud.
It's a very, very small belt.
Correct. It's within the rules, so there's a maximum size, but not a minimum.
No.
Struggles a bit on the lockout, but makes it work. Let's see what the referees say, though.
Referee says it's a good lift.
I was afraid of a bit of a hitching, but looks like.
No, I think sometimes there's a little bit of a small sticking point at lockout that makes it look like hitching, but it could just be the lifter leaning back into a proper position.
You are most correct.
We've got quite a significant jump now, 207 kilos.
Give us the context now. Why is this lift important?
Well, as it stands, Hannah Clayton is our current best female lifter. However, Jess, should she make all 3 attempts, has a decent chance at taking that from her.
Exactly. Her best deadlift is 220 kilos a month ago in the Greater London Divisional, and she's opening 7.5 more kilos than her then opener. This will be indicative of her current state.
And it does look quite easy.
No, it does look easy, but I wouldn't say that it's decided already.
No, there's definitely going to be some push here. It's not going to be a cakewalk for Jess.
Exactly. Moving on to the second round with 110 kilos for Sophie at 5 kilo jump. She had a bit of a fight on her opener, didn't she?
I believe she did, yes. 5 kilo jump on deadlifts does indicate that.
But this should be within her limits, within her reach. Coached by Ellie Steele, so we know attempt selection will be
South
realistic.
Midlands legend Ellie Steele. Put some respect on the name. Gets it to her shins and just can't go any further.
Right, it's right at the sticking point of a conventional, where the sticking point of a conventional deadlift begins. If she can if she can get past her knees, I believe she has a solid chance of making it.
Top of the shins and around the knees is conventional puller's worst nightmare.
True.
I believe there's a video of one of my deadlifts around on my Instagram where I pull 290 kilos and my knees don't stop shaking around when the bar is just scraping them.
Everyone go look at it and make the most absurd comments you can.
Please follow me on Instagram. No.
Jess Rogers now.
120 kilos.
You can see Sammy on the corner for a change.
Sammy provides a height.
You have to call on a deadlift
A deadlift.
specialist, a deadlift queen.
Not a deadlift specialist, just a deadlift legend.
Deadlift legend and a current South Midlands holder. Record
And
holder.
it's easy.
To drive you to pull that 120. Good work.
Sammy holding the 84 women's deadlift record in the South Midlands with 195 kilos.
A massive 195,
However,
yes.
anyone that's seen her train knows she is capable of way more than that.
Victoria Nikolova now, with a 15 kilo jump. Her opener was ridiculously easy, so this is the only rational approach to a
And I
second
believe
attempt.
Taking a big jump in your deadlift is so okay.
Yes.
It's
Look at that.
the most objective strength lies in most people's deadlift, so you could take bigger jumps and not have it be as much of a percentage of absolute load.
You are correct.
Thank you.
Same weight for Eva.
Ava, hopefully coming equipped with deadlift socks this time. However, I cannot see her in the holding area. Neither can I see her over from the commentary booth. I believe she is on the hunt for deadlift socks.
Pretty sure she
skiing
could
her
borrow
total.
some socks from her
Maybe
athletes,
she did.
from her from the other lifters, but she doesn't seem to be
Doesn't
out.
seem to be coming. She has 25 seconds remaining.
I believe she must have missed the timer, or she
Yes.
must have not wanted to go for another attempt, because I see a 2.5 kilo increase on her attempt, which indicates that they just let the timer run.
I think she might be doing her quote-unquote second attempt in the warm-up room to then come back for a third with deadlift socks.
Potentially.
But that is just speculation.
We're just going to have to wait for that.
Exactly. 130 now for Sadie Blake. Nick, can you explain to us quickly why some lifters scrape their feet on the carpet as they enter the platform?
Yes. Let's see Sadie making quick work of 130, and I'll get right into it.
Nash looking very happy in the back there. He's confident in his lifter.
Good stuff.
And he had every reason to be. Super
Nice.
easy. Look at him celebrating in the back there.
He even celebrated more than her.
She
So-
was content, he was ecstatic.
One of the main issues in deadlifting, especially sumo, but any deadlift variation, is lifters use talcum powder to make the bar travel in a more smooth way on their thighs, especially when it's humid and it's warm and it's close to the summer. But that talcum powder falls onto the ground, so you have to scrape your feet as you walk into the platform to make sure there's no talcum powder on your feet, so you don't end up slipping at all.
Especially useful for sumo pullers who try and get the most grip as possible to make sure they can drive through their feet for those wide stances.
Exactly. Shorty now with 142.5.
Gets it past the knees and locks it out.
Good stuff.
Looks like a good lift to me.
That was a solid second attempt.
And it is indeed.
Fight, but not too much of it. She definitely has 5 more kilos, I believe.
150 now for Manpreet. Really an incredible deadlift.
She did make easy work of the first one.
She did. We might see something very, very impressive.
Let's go, Manpreet.
She stayed confident, stayed focused.
Throughout the whole competition, has she
Oh,
gone? Yeah, she has
So
a
far,
perfect
7 for 7.
7 for 7 so far. Let's see.
Pulls it up. Gets away from her a little bit, but it's no problem. It's super light. Maybe she's saving herself for something, but because this is ridiculously easy.
She got red lights for ramping, I believe.
Oh,
So yeah, have a look at the replay.
you can see the bar get away from her.
So look,
And I think there is a minor case of ramping there.
yes, I think might be a bit of a strict refereeing, but you know they have a better angle.
They do indeed.
I would trust them more than my intuition right now.
I trust Manpreet will be able to come back stronger.
Yes, yes.
Get the bar a little bit closer to her and then she'll figure it out.
155 now for Rebecca Mars, who's also 7 for 7 so far, and makes good work of that. Bit of a fight, but never really lost any speed. So. 177.5 now
Super.
for our second to last
Wow.
second attempt.
Catherine dancing. Real big puller.
Yes. And the bar is loaded for Catherine. However, they will need to clear it before, because she probably requested clearance of the bar. Lifters are allowed to request clearing the bar before the second attempts.
I request it before all of my attempts because I am that annoying lifter that referees and spotters and loaders hate alike.
But on the third one, they're already instructed to do it by themselves without even the lifters asking. So let's see how this moves.
Oh,
Bit of a
there might
struggle
be a
with
case
the
of
lockout.
hitching there.
Yes. Let's see what the referee's saying.
Coach Will Smith from the back looking onwards. Small
Yeah,
grimaced
that was-
face.
I'm pretty sure she can come back and make it.
I think she can.
Sometimes with the deadlifts, you just have to stay patient and not rush the lockout, especially
Yes.
on conventional.
Patience off the floor normally leads to a very, very quick and speedy lockout for a lot of pullers.
Yes.
So it's a good rule to follow.
Speaking about patience of the floor, Jess Randall with a
wow.
sumo stance, loading 225, and I believe this is to claim first place overall in the women.
I think it is as well. A nice 12,
That's
15 kilo jump.
That's her PB actually. She hit this. No, that's more than her PB. That's 5
Oh.
kilos more than her personal best. Let's see if that pays off. It's definitely that woman's on a rodeo right now.
This is very tense.
It's like
Everyone's
go
looking
big
on
or go home.
With
Yeah.
anticipation. Pulls it. It's got
Oh my
from her
God.
knees. It's not there. Hannah Clayton has probably going to go through the most stressful 10 minutes of her life. As
She looks pretty calm, but she's
Yeah.
always like that.
she has 10 minutes to recuperate herself and go for a second attempt at 225.
So she will have another shot at it, but the thing is with sumo, if you end up in a disadvantageous position while on the lockout, you're fighting an uphill battle to make the lift count. Either way, we have a whole flight ahead of us before that. Starting with Sophie Gay retaking, yes.
Jinx, Padlock, you owe me a Coke. 110 kilos. Nick gives off a sigh as he has realised he is commentating over me and he is realising his distaste as Sophie walks out onto the platform.
Let's go, Sophie. She needs to finish strong now.
Lovely starting position. Unfortunately, I think she just gets off balance with that pull and it just can't get past her shins.
Maybe a bit too much on the day, but she gave it all,
We're proud of you, Sophie.
and she will come
Well done.
back, smoke this on the next comb.
Absolutely. Jess Rogers with a 12 kilo jump, 132.5. I'm going to try my best not to scream at her.
We're looking at the 12.5 kilo jump, so more than from first to second, but her second moved well, and she's got Sammy Krebber on her corner, so there's not a chance in the world she's going to miss that.
A lot of the barbell division crew behind her, us included.
Represent.
Represent indeed.
Stand up. Come on, Jess, for all of us.
She's pulling, and it looks easy.
Yes.
It looks incredibly easy.
There was a struggle. There was some struggle, but
but it wasn't enough to quantify a third attempt. Give her more kilos.
great first comp. 9 for 9 as well.
Sadie Blake now.
And on to the next one.
135 kilos. Just a 2.5 increase from Jess. And I'd
And
say for a first comp, just a harp on.
And a 5 kilo
great
increase
first comp for Jess.
from her second attempt, Sadie. And we believe she's got it in her. Let's see. Nash Hunter celebrating one more time.
South Midlands legend, Nash Hunter. He's even got some GB shoelaces, I believe, I can make out.
You sure?
They are blue, white and red to go with his t-shirt.
How British are you? Yes.
I respect the dedication.
Yes.
Sadie,
Come on, Sadie.
really locking in here. Activates her lats.
Oh my God, she almost
She-
lost her balance, but
She
she
stands up with
maintains
it. Do the refs think it's a good lift? They do not, unfortunately.
Oh.
She stands up, but I think her feet moved when she lost her balance. Yep, you can see her
we
slightly
can see it in
stand
the
back.
replay. The right foot, yes. It wasn't that obvious from the live stream camera, but on the replay was really obvious. She will
Very-
come back on the next
she
comp.
will. Very
Make
impressive, but unfortunately not
quick work of
competition
this.
standard. Victoria, 15 kilo jump again, 140.
Davai, Victoria.
Taking no mess with
Oh.
it. Decides to pause it because she's just that much of an OG. Looks a little bit confused, takes a bow, and gets
And it's a good
2-1, a good lift.
I believe one of the refs must have seen a possible downward movement. That's why she was given. Oh yeah, the right. So
Very much the pause deadlift, if you ask me.
So, looking at the stage, her left side went up and then moved down, so I can imagine why she was given a no lift from the right side there. Shawnee now, 2.5 more kilos. Looking to end up on a good note. Long time South Mid's competitor as well.
Yeah, indeed. I've seen Shawnee at many a comp. Grinds
And
it.
she grinds it out.
Locks her legs out.
Did you get the
What
dunk,
did the
man?
refs say?
Yes.
3 white lights. They're
Good
happy.
stuff. Good job, Shawnee.
We have 3 lifters left as Anna
Yes.
and Ava are not taking any more attempts. 155 for Manpreet.
Oh, they
lifters,
haven't
sorry.
submitted even an attempt.
No. I think Ava realised she had no deadlift socks, tried to put in an opener and then
Maybe Ava is working for Hannah Clayton.
maybe that reduced rest time.
Yeah.
Knee
Manfred
is
now.
fixed. Manpreet wasting no time, decides just to pull, gets it up.
I believe
knocks
that
it
is. I believe that is a good lift.
Now, if there was a good lift I've ever seen, that was one.
Yes.
She's happy. Small little waving of the
Fist in
arms.
the air. Like you don't care, but I know she cares, and we care a lot.
We
Good,
care a
it's
lot.
good
Well
stuff.
done, well done, Manpreet. 160 now. Rebecca Marsh, looking determined, powerful, more than ready to complete this lift. It's a 5 kilo jump. Normally safe for a third unless you went all out on your seconds, but I don't believe she did. So
Yep. I don't either. Let's see.
yeah, she's easily got that lockout.
Great
Maybe
work.
was a bit of an issue, but
Bit of a
Not
struggle on the
enough of
lockout,
one.
but yeah, definitely.
Rebecca secures a 9 for 9 day, along with Jess Rogers. They will be the only 2 in the flight to go 9 for 9. Oh, and Victoria, my apologies.
And with a bench record as well to top it off.
That's a pretty good day. I'd reward myself. Maybe I'd reward myself with a brand new SBD belt from our sponsors SBD and Pull'em.
That would be a great idea. And it is the winner overall, both on men's and women's, that get to be rewarded with a belt.
I believe it is, yes.
Catherine now.
Retaking 177.5. Looking calm, collected. She's confident she has this. I think I'm pretty confident as well. Just making sure everything's perfect. Tries to force her hips through. I think she does it. Let's see what the refs say.
Might be a bit of a downward movement initially.
Maybe. But they think
It's a good lift.
It's a good lift.
Good stuff. Congratulations, Catherine. Ends up on a good note.
Oh, getting that third deadlift is always a nice sigh of relief. You can be happy you've had a good day.
And we're now moving to the final deadlift on the flight for all the marbles.
This is kind of all or nothing for Jess. She probably will get a prize still
For second.
but
And the bar is loaded for Jess.
this is for first.
She makes this, she takes it all.
Moving the bar just to make sure it's in the right position for her.
She's got loads of time. She will need all of the time she can get.
I think she's training everything she can.
Get
for this goal.
every muscle fiber in her body contribute towards that lift.
Slow off the floor. She
It
gets
makes it move,
and
but
it's
no.
not there. Hannah Clayton breathes a sigh of relief. Unfortunately, did not end the way Jess wanted, but second place, still a great feat. Well done, Jess.
You know what the thing is? I believe she might have taken first place with a lower deadlift as well. I'd have to look into it.
Maybe.
But no time for that, because we're on flight D now with Millie opening up with 90 kilos.
Let you push it one more time.
You know what? Great respect to her for sticking with it, even though she did not manage to get a good lift on bench, staying for the deadlifts and making it work.
Yes, some lifters do not stay for their last lifts after they form out, but it's only right. You wanted to come here, you wanted to compete, why not give it everything you have?
That is correct.
Now, as Nick does some quick maths here, Millie's setting up for her opener at 90 kilos, sets herself. It's a nice pull.
Solid fight. Good one.
Very, very comfortable. I think she's going to try and pull something nice, go for a PR, make the day worth it.
Moving on to Dan Mason, the man with the big jumps on the squat. Looking to open up with 130 kilos. He's got a good day so far.
He has. He's only missed one attempt and claimed it back at
Exactly.
the 2.5 increase. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
wow.
easy. We might see another. I almost expected to see him repping it. We might see another huge jump, maybe 40 plus kilos.
That is correct.
Finn Slater,
And we would love to see that. But moving on to Finn Slater.
150. Followed by James Wheeler, 170 at 57.5 kilos.
And 14 years old. But before that,
14. You can't
before
understate that.
Finn takes 150
Yes.
for an opener. Let's see how this moves.
I think it'll be easy. And it is.
Plenty of room.
Taking 150 for a nice stroll in the park there.
And the bar is getting loaded with 170 for the man we just described. James Wheeler, first competition, 14 years old, 57.5 kilos weighed in, opening up with 170. I don't remember how much time it took me to lift 170 in my lifting journey, but I was certainly not 14 years old.
No. I think I was in fact probably 18 or 19. does look extremely like an opener. I think we might be seeing upwards of 200 from him.
It's also that he has a quite refined form. So
Yes.
for a lifter of his both biological and training age, it's so nice to see. He braced well, he took the slack out of the bar, locked out strong.
There are some unseen footage of me when I started lifting doing my sumo that I really, really pray will never see the light of day.
There's rumors that people have seen it and it burned their eyes.
It did worse than that. I'd say that.
Ethan now with 180.
I think he was trying to wait for a start command there and it threw him off.
And I know you're not allowed to get a second try. Once you try to start pulling the bar, if you fail at it, you're not allowed to try again.
Yes, I think he's going to have to take that in his stride and then follow through and get it on the next attempt.
Do you reckon he opened a bit too heavy, or is that something that you can make on the second attempt?
I think we'll have to see when he's more calm and collected.
Georgi now, in the same weight, different stance.
Pulls it towards him, lifts it up. Maybe. Three white lights.
Moving on to 185.
Yes, for Joven.
Second.
Three white lights, but I think head ref Ashraf told him to please be a little bit more gentle when putting the bar down. We don't want to break through the platform floor here.
He's requested clearance of the bar. So we know he will be dedicated in it. He wants to make sure nothing goes wrong on his opener. Fairly narrow sumo stance.
Frog stance is becoming more popular nowadays as a nice mix between the benefits of conventional and sumo.
That is true. Works
Three
out for
white
him.
lights, by the way, for Joven.
So what do you get with such a narrow sumo stance? What benefits you get and what disadvantages you take away from?
I think one of the main benefits I've seen from trying both a wide and narrow sumo stance, your balance for, as is interpreted as a frog stance where your feet are narrower, is so much more than what you get when your feet are turned outwards and wider towards the plate.
Yes.
So you have a little bit more time to collect yourself and really focus on making sure you're upright and balanced.
Good stuff. Thanks for the explanation, Josh. Meanwhile, Ed really makes easy, quick work of 190.
190 kilos. And these guys are sub-juniors. I can tell you when I was a sub-junior, I was playing video games and eating a lot of canned spaghetti.
That sounds like my youth as well, but these guys are really doing something for the future. Let's see Liam now. He's had a great day so far. We're really looking forward to his opener.
I think we'll see Liam at the top a lot in the
That
future.
man can't be stopped.
He can't. Very easy deadlift opener with 190 there. But we're going to take a huge jump as we see Salman Khan load 250 kilos as an opener.
This is the man I talked to you about. So, roughly this time last year, I believe it was June, or maybe it was slightly later. He did break the South Mids junior deadlift record with 255. I will get to it right now. Yes, it was 13th of May, 2023.
Wow. So almost a year ago.
Exactly. And
Over a year ago, sorry.
and he'll be looking most probably to extend this record. He does hold the name of a great puller. Salman Khan was a powerlifter, GB powerlifter back in the day, one of the greatest Muslim powerlifters.
Will we see
An inspiration for a lot of them.
an inspiration or maybe a reincarnation,
Yeah, true.
for lack of a better phrase?
Let's see.
People are hyping him up. This is an immense. Doing it conventional as well.
I think he used to pull sumo. I can't remember. Oh my goodness.
And that was ridiculously easy. puts it down. Very happy with that. 3 white lights. We might see something truly, truly incredible. This moves easier than my 250 deadlift.
For the record, the open deadlift record is 275 by Daniel J earlier this year. Mate, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Will that record stand by the end of today?
I wouldn't bet my money that it will, but I wouldn't be so sure that it won't.
Salman Khan, unfortunately, has not had the best day going so far. 3 of 7.
He's loaded 265 for a second. You know what? He's gonna look at that record face to face.
Yes.
By the end of the round.
I think 275.5 is going to be loaded. Whether he pulls it or not, we'll have to find out. But for now, we're moving on to seconds. Millie Thomas Wilcox loading 100, getting in her groove. I think now she's got less pressure on her.
Yes.
She's having more fun. Just trying to. Moving on, jumping 50 kilos for 150 for Dan Mason. Getting some back slabs out there. Common way to get these lifters' adrenaline going.
And the bar is loaded for Dan Mason.
Yeah, someone needs to tell this guy that
Did that
competitions are for going heavy and not
Did
for
that
warming
look
up.
easier than the first one?
I think it did. Now, if I was a referee, I'd pull him aside and be like, mate, do you realise these are supposed to be RP 8 and 9, maybe even 10 lifts? But
Maybe
no,
that's his RP 8 or 9.
let's not lie to ourselves, Nick.
Finn now with 170. Looking to extend his total from 370 to 390. Oh, he did have a slight mishap over there. He did a second pull of the bar, and
Oh, no.
that is a no lift due to downward movement, but strength is there. So if you're Finn's handler, definitely going up, yeah?
I'd say so. It depends on if that technical issue was rooted in strength or if it was rooted in just maybe being a little bit more uncomfortable or just, you know, a little off balance,
Yeah.
off kilter.
As we said, a lot of those sub-juniors lifters techniques, they're not as refined as their juniors, or even better than their open counterparts. So
Yes.
we will see certain similar issues not every other time, but fairly more frequently than on older lifters. But it's to be expected. Speaking of someone that has a great lifting technique, James Wheeler now, 10 kilos more than his opener, looking to a very respectable 390 as a sub-junior.
This must be a record in the South Midlands.
It is a record, yes.
Of course. Pulls it, gets it to lockout, but I
no.
don't think he has it.
Barely misses it. He will be
Exclaims
back.
his grip is his limiting factor right now.
He will be back. More chalk, gripping the bar.
More
hard.
chalk, hold harder.
Exactly.
Maybe use straps? No, they're not allowed.
If they can't see it.
If I use clear straps or sellotape.
Moving on to Ethan Lim.
Retaking 180.
He had a bit of a mishap as well on his deadlift.
Hyping
Initially.
himself up.
He needs this to stay in the game.
He does. He does have another attempt. But if it's not here, it could prove worrying. He's got it. He's locked it out. He gets down command.
It looks good.
I think he's confused. He wants 3 white lights.
Yes, it is a good
And he's
lift.
really happy he's got that.
Now, nerves are off.
Nerves are off.
You can go to the third one and have some fun.
Super scary not getting that opener.
Yes.
You always have a small internal panic on if
'Cause-
you can have it at all.
Because imagine struggling and not locking out your second deadlift, and then what's left of your energy for the third one.
Exactly.
190 now for Georgi Todorov. First one went very well, so 190 should be confidently within his reach.
And I think maybe at these heavier body weights as well, a 10 kilo jump for a first to second to deadlift might not be enough to pace yourself nicely anymore.
Potentially, yeah.
Because he's making that look harder than his 180 in my opinion. So maybe you're
He might have
fatiguing
opened too
yourself
heavy,
a little bit too much with that opener.
Could be. Regardless, it's a good lift.
It's a good lift indeed, not
And
to
he'll
take
be
away
back,
from
and he'll
him.
be back.
Maybe we'll see another 10 kilos. We're seeing another 7 now for Joven, 197.5 kilos. Just shy of that 200 mark.
The bar is loaded for Joven. 197.5.
It's a very, very close stance.
A 12.5 kilo increase, but it should be there.
And it definitely is. We might see another 12.5.
Cosplaying Angelo Fortino, I
Indeed.
say.
Joven Fortino. Edward Hadnett now, 205 kilograms. Followed by Leon Peck on the same weight.
Ed now, Ed Hadnett. And the bar is loaded for Ed. He has a PB of 215, so he's not far away from his PB.
I think he's trying to pace towards that on a third attempt.
Yes, yes. He's got a coming up, so
Yeah, it's this one. He seems to exert a little bit more than he wanted to on that deadlift, so
maybe
we'll see what his third is, but it's a good lift.
it is a good lift. Would you say a combination of the weather, as in being relatively hot in here, humidity, plus, general fatigue for a meet?
I think some people get overly fatigued from meets and they don't expect it, so maybe this is just one of those cases. But for now, Liam Peck, 205 kilos. Now I'm expecting this to fly. This guy has been astounding so far today.
He's my new favorite lifter.
Yeah,
Look at
and
that.
as easy as it went down, it went up.
Yes.
Good lift for Liam, and
It's like an Instagram boomerang.
I am more and more excited to see each lift as it comes. Truly, 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 really good.
Absolutely. Speaking of a lifter we want to see come on the platform, Salman Khan at 265, which is a South Mids junior record in the 74s. And it's 10 kilos away from the open record. That is scary. Based on how this moves, we will know in what state is he, but for now, he seeks to extend his own record of 255. He asks the crowd for support. They do respond.
One of my favourite moves, asking a crowd to cheer you on. Looks great on your photo packages as well, guys.
He needs all of it.
And it is quite a convincing second attempt.
Very fast off the floor. Bit of a fight on the lockout.
I
you know
think he
what?
feels good for that new
Yes,
record.
yes, it is.
I think he's going to tell someone to
It
load
is
a
there.
big number. He's asked for 275, I believe, which would match it, but not take a new record.
Someone needs to tell him he can load.
Yeah.
Oh no, can he load the record? Or he has to load... Okay, he can match it. Right. I feel like I should go tell him that he can load.
If you want to go tell him, you can tell him.
I will go. Right, be right back.
We love driving competition in the sport. So, we're going back onto our third attempts now as Nick is rushing off. Millie Thomas Wilcox having a great time, bobbing her head in the back. 105 kilos is on the bar for her, making it a good shout, turning a bad situation into a good day. She's got a lot of the Fitness 24 guys behind her there. I think South Midlands Powerlifting has driven such a nice community. Having everyone behind you. She's pulling. I think her feet have just moved, which have knocked her out of position. Unfortunately, is not there today. But she's smiling. I think she's gotten what she wanted out of today, maybe. Or what she could have got. So
She left it all on the platform, and that's what matters at the end of the day. So,
will we see Salman up his attempt?
no, we won't.
Why?
He will take to 75. I believe he knows he can do it in the future, probably, and he may think that that's his top end strength. So he may want to just, he may want to send a message to the open weight class, to the open category. Who knows?
A message of I'm here, and give me a few months.
Yes.
This record will be a brand new number. 180 now for Finn
now.
Slater.
10 more kilos than another beer for Josh. 10 more kilos than his second attempt.
A very solid third attempt.
Look at
there.
that.
Tempo's on the way down too. Established dominance.
Great work overall.
A lovely, lovely scream off the platform.
Getting that 400 total round number. You'll have to see it. And we got James Wheeler now. Looking to retake 180. Lost it on grip, apparently. So if he pulls hard enough, it should be there. And a 390 kilo total would put him in the top 20 out of all 59 lifters ever in England.
And he's pulling. And I think
Oh
he
my
might
God,
have
he
it.
locks it out. Oh, no.
Grip's not there on the day, unfortunately.
So unlucky.
Let's put it down to humidity, huh? Put it down to the humidity.
Yes, we shall. And also his body being way too strong for his hands.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen someone that light pull with such ease.
I don't think, even if you were to tell me to hold 180 kilos at that age, I wouldn't have been able to. This guy almost locked it out.
Some days I can barely hold 180 kilos now.
Perhaps the heaviest things we hold are not the weight or the feels.
But our emotions.
Exactly.
That's what my therapist
Ethan
told me
now.
at least.
He did make 180 move. We got relieved, and now he's here to have fun.
He's pulling with everything he has, and it's just not there.
You know what? He now has a total.
I think he's going to take
Totally
a lot
fine.
from this competition and really take it in his stride.
Yes, that is true. And that's what we want to see. Dan Mason, a 35 kilo jump from second to third.
Has he figured out that he has to go heavy? We will find out.
This might be heavy, but mate, that attempt selection is not very optimal. Which
probably not.
Which goes to show if he makes it this move fast, makes you wonder how much more will he have. Let's see now.
He shows some signs of struggle, but
Goodness though, that should have been like a second attempt.
I've
Very
seen,
good work.
I've had openers move harder than that. I think this guy,
Congratulations to Dan. 417.5 definitely does not reflect his top end strength.
absolutely. We'll see
Moving
a
on
lot
now to Yuri Todorov.
192.5 kilos. Starting our last 5 lifters.
He's done the, is this an American football or a rugby thingy underneath your eyes?
It's an American football.
Right. I've seen Blaine Sumner doing it back in the day.
Very, very big in the, the college side of it, more so than the NFL.
Oh, nice.
He's getting ready. He's getting nice and loose and limber for his deadlift.
Yes, indeed.
Gonna give everything he's got. Leave the last bit on the platform. It's only 2.5 kilos. And it does look quite easy. That lockout
What a
there.
great pull.
He's holding it.
He held it even
I think he mewed at the top.
as a power as a power play. Good lift. Great selection.
These darn sub-juniors and their TikTok trends.
Did he actually mew?
I think he mewed. We're staring at 210 being loaded for Ed.
So 210 is 5 kilos off his personal best.
How do you think he's going to move, Nick?
It will be a struggle. I'd give it 8% chance for him to make it. We'd love to see Ed make it.
Ready. A nice shakedown always prepares me for a lift. Some people need the hype and the energy. Some people have so much inside that they just need to calm down a little bit. And unfortunately for Ed, I don't think it's there. But he's got a comp soon.
He's went 8 for
Show off his
9.
top end.
490 kilos, matched his total PB, right? Did more good lifts, and we knew that he wasn't coming to this comp for it all. It was like an in-between stop from juniors to All Englands. So good job. However, we moved to 2:15 for Jovan second, who looks to extend his total from 5:10 to 5:27.5. Let's see if he makes it with this lovely frog stance sumo.
Quite fascinating to watch.
Yes, great
Because
work.
he doesn't really have a sticking point.
No,
And that was a good lift. It really looks strong.
but see, I don't think it was extremely easy. Just it's smooth overall.
Yeah, with a lot of lifters, you either find they're slow off the floor or slow at lockout. I think for Joban, he doesn't have that issue, which puts him at an advantage.
Yep.
Especially when that deadlift gets up to fighting for positions.
And your opponents can't gauge how much you have, probably.
Exactly.
Let's look at Liam.
Liam just
Locks it out.
Locks it out. What do the refs say?
Great
They say
attempt.
it's 2-1 a good lift. Liam's had a great day today, going 9 for 9. Being
Might have been a lockout issue for Liam, but either way, it doesn't matter. It is a
Liam
good lift.
is
9 for 9.
the only lifter in this flight to go 9 for 9, securing a 540 total.
Congratulations, Liam.
I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Liam lift.
Absolutely.
Now, for our last deadlift of the day, something very, very special. 275 kilos for Salman Khan. We did tell him he could have loaded for the record. He opted not to. He wanted to send a message to Daniel J. I am here. I'm pulling conventional.
Get better.
And I'm a sub-junior.
Or I'll take your record. However, we still need to see how this one's going to move. He did struggle a bit on the lockout.
I think this loading is a good message anyway.
Yes.
Sort of like how Enna loaded 400.
True, true.
And everyone thought he could. Because he's gonna, it's easy.
And it moves!
He
Sticks to the lockout!
He's locking it out.
Gets it through. Oh, no!
Unfortunately, I think his grip went.
You think?
Let's not there.
Let's have a look at the replay.
Daniel J lives with his record
He
for
lives to
another
fight
day.
another day.
And I believe that
Oh, yeah, it was
concludes-
slipping on the right
Yeah.
hand.
I believe that concludes our afternoon session.
Correct. It's been a pleasure, mate.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Nick.
Once
Thank
again.
you very much to everyone involved in the production of this. Our sponsors, Pullum, Alico, SBD, Kasimov Creative, for putting this amazing production together, quite frankly.
The South Midlands Powerlifting Association.
Indeed. GBPF, my mother, my father, Nick's mother, Kieran, for being an amazing competitions officer, Carly Doughton, for organising the competition, my therapist, for telling me I'm good enough.
He's lying to you because you pay him.
Yes. But thank you very much, everyone.
Josh Smith, under 105, British University champion. Won it a couple of weeks ago. I love that. Ready to get going? I'm just walking around up in the air. We're going to go through weight class by weight class. There'll be a first place medal for the winner of each weight class. Okay, starting with the under 69s. With a total of 270 kilos is Sophie Gay. Oh no, Ellie, where's Sophie? Oh, we'll post that one to her. Thank you. Okay, next up with a 302.5 kilo total, Sadie Blake. Next up with a 310 kilo total is Victoria. After a very chaotic deadlift with a total of 315 kilos is Emma. Also, if anyone sees a flat pepper when we return to Emma, she lost one. With a total of 342.5 is Manpreet. Okay, with a total of 360 kilos is Catherine Dancy. Okay, with a total of 462.5 kilos and winning the under 69 kilo category is Jess Randall. We have a representative for that as she is there. Jess's sister, everybody. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the under 84s. Unfortunately not registering a total because you didn't get a benching. However, it is Lily's first comp. She's never trained before. So everyone give her a round of applause for Lily! Absolutely smashed it today. And that's her brother on the side there. With a total of 267.5 kilos is Anna. She's struggling with that injury, but she still made it through. With a total of 317.5 kilos is Jess Rogers. And then taking the win in the under 84 kilo category with a total of 407.5 kilos is Rebecca Marsh. And a new South Wales bench record to go with that as well. We have our under 84 kilo equipped lifter, totaling 405 kilos and qualifying for equipped nationals in January next year is Shirley Clutter. Okay, moving on to our sub-juniors. We had a lot of under 18 lifters, first time lifters peak today. It was amazing to see. They all smashed it. Whether there was only one or two per category, we put them all together and we based them on points, as they will do at our national championship. So, okay, with a total of 400 kilos is Finn Slater. Okay, totaling 417.5 kilos is Dan Mason. Totaling 457.5 kilos is Georgie. kilos is James Wheeler. Yes, that's a steal. Totaling 527.5 kilos is Jordan. Totaling 490 kilos is Edward. Totaling 435 kilos is Ethan. And acquiring the most points today in the sub-junior category, with a total of 540 kilos, is Liam Peck. Well done, Liam. And we have one more certificate to give out, and it's quite amazing, really. Salman Khan, total 532.5 kilos, unable to attend yesterday due to a car crash, but still competed today. So well done, Salman, with a total of 532.5 kilos. An amazing attendance attempt at the end. Okay, we have 3 more awards to give out, which is Best Female Lifter from today. So this would be from the female lifters that competed this morning and this afternoon. Okay, so in the third place prize would be a small package from Plymouth Sports, one of our sponsors from the event, which will consist of some swimming salts, £25 gift voucher and some wrist wraps. We will also receive a crate of Nocco and an SVD t-shirt of your choice. That's it, lovely, thank you for that. Didn't fall flat on my face there. The second best lifter will receive the exact same, apart from instead of an SVD t-shirt of choice, you'll receive an SVD knee sleeve of choice. That's it, thank you very much. And the best overall female lifter will receive all of that, but instead of an SVD knee sleeve, they'll get an SVD belt of their choice, either 10 or 13mm, which retails at over £200. And some other coat of wrist wraps. So without further ado, I'll put it on my phone. Sorry. In third place overall, she competed this morning, is Joelle Tongue. Is Joelle Tongue still here at all? She got the bus. We will make sure she gets her prizes in the post. Second overall, so the ladies who came first and second today had the most medal points across the whole competition, both male and female, so that's an amazing feat. And in second place, I think she's also left as well, being representation, is Jess Randall. And in first place, I think you know who she is. She absolutely smashed it this morning. South Midlands lifter, chosen by my vision. In first place is Hannah Clayton. Okay, and we have got a few more gifts to give out. Can I have Carly Knowlton and Kieran Neal, please? You've got Kieran Neal.
Who's the back?
We find Kieran Neal, and before we find Kieran Neal, I'm going to embarrass this lady here. Front in the centre. These competitions don't happen with a lot of preparation, a lot of effort, a lot of work. There he is, Kieran Neal, please. There you come. And we don't get paid for any of this, we do it for the fun of it, for the love of the sport. And these two here have put this together over the last 6 months to 12 months. And we've got them a little something just to say thank you. Please a round of applause for Carly and Kieran, who absolutely smashed this weekend. They'll put all the hours at home, put it all together, answer all the emails, put all the stuff together. So thank you so much, you two. You've been amazing. Some steroids, some seconds, some flowers, and there you go, Carly. Round of applause for Carly and Kieran. Thank you so much. We're talking about all our volunteers, spotters, those referees, field crew, people who make this possible. Everyone's been amazing. Thank you you so much. We'll see you next time. Have a safe journey home. If you see anyone, just pick it up for us. That'll be a massive hand. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Yeah, man. Good. Pleasure.
It's been more of a pleasure for me, and I'll double it down with future communication. Pretty soon.
Also, if you want to take photos of the platform, doing out, so about the street platform to get back to it, guys.